Cause I'm back, y'all, and I'm ready to go. Nobody likes it, it's still the name of the show. The podcast that is writing history now, on the top of the charts and everyone talks about. I know that the players might not be the same, but sarcastic humor is still the name of the game. You know who they are and who I'm talking about. You know what I mean, so you better shout out now. Nobody likes onions up in your hizzy. Nobody likes onions, learn it to like. It ain't easy. Nobody likes onions, still in your motherfucking hizzy. Nobody likes onions, just by the name, the girls get busy. They started a tour, and now they're more than 5. They got bigger and better, coming at you live. Bashing everybody just to get out of the mood. Still talking about TV and food. And if a good old name calling is what you need, tune in for the bad podcast of the week. At Nobody Likes Onions up in your hizzy. Nobody likes onions, learn it to like. It ain't easy. Nobody likes onions, still in your motherfucking hizzy. Nobody likes onions, just by the name, the girls get busy. You heard it. Come on. Just by the name, the girls get busy. This ain't entirely true though. Leave it to Patrick.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Nobody Likes Onions podcast. My name is Patrick, and your name is personal. That's really your business. You keep it to yourself. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the real. I don't know what you say these days in a modern world. I don't know what I'm seeing. So it's kind of like the first official, I guess, podcast back because we kind of did a little test show the other night where we watched Ty Rivera, and we got into some weird shit that we will get into. I just don't know how to talk about it, and it's gonna get fucking weird. Jesus, you're looking like a troll. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've let it go. It doesn't matter anymore. I don't go outside. I don't leave the house. I don't have to impress anyone. I'm not one of these losers doing Zoom shows. So yeah, I gotta at least make it to March with no haircut or I haven't done the beard, I think, in 3 months. But I want to get like a year with no haircut, because when are you ever going to do that in your adult life? But it is ridiculous. I like the headphones because you get to kind of pin them back. His beard does look like a troll doll's hair. Come on, that's not very nice stuff. If we're gonna have that kind of a show, you guys can just hit the bricks, dads. Welcome to the show. A lot of stuff, I guess, depending on how you look at it, to get to. And we can't just let it go with you guys. Now, I put a poll up earlier. How was this on? I put a poll up earlier, and it got some surprising results. So we put out, if you haven't had a chance yet, go listen to the new show, 1373. It's titled Ty versus Shang. Now, Ty put up a video, and we were just covering it because Ty is a fucking idiot, and we like to make fun of Ty by watching his stuff collectively as a unit. And we don't really harass Ty or really even reach out to Ty about it. We just kind of like to watch it to see what Ty's up to. I don't even think we made it all the way through it, but regardless, we watched a good portion of it before we got sidetracked and signed up for Josh Denny's. We'll just do the plug now. Sign up for the Overdose. If you haven't signed up yet, remember this price is going up very, very soon. I'll give you a few days warning on social media. So if you're not following us on Twitter, NLO, or Instagram, NL Onions, you're going to miss this. But price is going up. I'm going to raise it. We're going to get more money out of you people. We're going to squeeze it out of you. So join. Thanks to all the people who have been signing up over the past couple of days. You will be getting your money's worth. On the Overdose show I put up the other day, it continues the Thai stuff. It's another couple hours. But what we do is sign up for Josh Denny's new Patreon-like service. So we go over to, it's called Locals. He thinks it's uncancelable. Even though it's hosted on AWS, just like Parler was. Be honest, Patrick, or I'll tickle your foot. Is that flannel comfy? It's very comfy. I don't know what you're talking about. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be? It's very toasty. You know, we are in the middle of samurai winter. It'll warm up. You know, maybe we'll strip it down at the end and we'll take it off and we'll get a little more comfy. I don't know, but we'll figure it out as we go. I'd rather not have you judge me and my comfort level that you feel like I may or may not have in my clothing. He lost the password for the store. That's why he hasn't raised it already. Yeah. We did get hacked in the big Unify hacking of 2020. Right after fucking Stork and Branch switches me over to the Ubiquity system. We have all these problems. And as you know, and probably can tell from the new bug, ping, you know, we got a new sponsor tonight. Ubiquity is out. Cheryl's Barrels is in. Have I told you about the high-quality craftsmanship of Cheryl's Barrels yet? Oh, Lord. Go to Cheryl's Barrels today. Use coupon code NLO on your first order of 10 or more barrels. And I swear to God, they'll put free stickers in your barrel order. Look, these are some of the best coopers in the world. They know their business. They got brandy barrels. They got unused oak barrels, but who wants that? You want the brandy barrels. Right now, get a bushel of 10 brandy barrels for just $129 a barrel at Cheryl's Barrels. Head on over. Use promo code NLO to be emailed a live stream of the Coopers building your barrels as you watch them build your barrels, and you track them across the sea. They're all made in China. I hope those barrels are filled with gravy. Watch your tone. Don't feel judged. It's all chill. Okay, cool. Thanks. I'm glad we're all fucking chill tonight. I know I am, and I appreciate that you guys are. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'll let you guys kind of like control what you want to talk about tonight. I do want to reiterate again, we're looking for a solution. You know what I'd like to build? I'd like to build an army of correspondents around the country. If you live in a major metropolitan area, I'd like you to get at me, okay? Just email soldiers at nobodylikesonions.com with your city and the subject. And I'd like to know, what I'd like to know is if you'd like to join up to the NLO ants. We're an army of coordinated, I got to be careful on YouTube because you can get labeled a hate group if you try to activate a bunch of sleeper cells. What I'd like is correspondence around the country so that when any of these big things go down, like the Chop Chaz up in Portland, Seattle, all this stuff, let's say there's an insurrection in your area, I'd like you to be out with your phone taping and emailing in the video to me as official NLO correspondent. Here's what you'll get. You'll get a windbreaker. You get an official NLO windbreaker. Sticker pack. I send you a sticker pack. We send them out. I think you get 20 of them. We'll send you out a sticker pack, and we send you out a badge. It's just got an onion with 6 points coming out of it. And you walk around your neighborhood, you tell them I'm the official NLO correspondent. You get a press flag to stick in any hat of your choice. And you also get a $25 gift certificate to the NLO store. All you have to do is just, call it a peaceful protest group and it'll be okay. Yeah. Will you join our peaceful protest? Because I'd like you to be a part of this. And if you don't want to be, that's fine. Don't make any sudden movements. But if you'd like to be, and this is kind of a joke, but also kind of serious, but then we're also looking for somebody with some tech expertise when it comes to, and I could figure this out. I was actually talking to Moody today. We might have figured out a solution. But I anticipate a day where we will be kicked off of Twitch. We will be kicked off of YouTube. We will be kicked out of everywhere, and we'll need to have like our own kind of streaming service. I'm not under the delusion like Josh Denny that anything is like permanent and will be like unhacked. Like we will be unable to be kicked off. It's like, nah, I doubt that'll ever fucking happen. You know what I mean? Just because like everything almost is hosted on AWS or Azure or something like that, which is, you know, big tech. So it's not even so much that, because we're not doing any real hate speech. I just see us getting kicked off for dumb. Portland is still on fire. Stickers in the shop. No. These aren't for sale. These are just for our peaceful protest correspondence team. They're not available. Neither are the new coasters. We have coasters. You can't get the coasters anywhere but here when you're having a drink in the studio. And people go like, why don't you sell them? I'm not interested in making coaster money. Private label branded bottled water. We have all these things for when people come in. They're nice. But we may never have people in again. So it's really just for me and my ego. And I'd rather not talk about it anymore. Frankly, you're all making me uncomfortable. But thank you very much for the support. Do join that overdose, though. You will like it. We found out that Josh Denny has 3 subscribers on his locals, which is like, it's $5 a month. I don't know what the split is, how much of that he's getting. If it's anything like Twitch, it's like 50%. So let's say he's getting $2 or $3. We are one of the 3, by the way. We signed up. We are one of the 3. So that's almost $10 in his pocket. And he is cranking out content on there. He really is waking up every morning, tricking idiots to like doing shows with him. Imagine doing a podcast that you put up behind a paywall when you can't get people to listen to it for free. These are guys, our Instagram, by the way, was hacked, I think. Someone's into that. And I think it's one of these Queef Squad dorks. They won't tell me, but they all laugh every time I try to ask them and get to the bottom of it. I think we got like 1,000 followers in an hour on Instagram. My phone was just losing its fucking mind. I couldn't clear notifications enough. Get NLO's new press stickers for your flak jacket. Yep. No one mentions how he was in a skit with Tom Arnold. Josh Denny? Oh, God. Look, you know, I say what you want about Denny. Let's see if I care. He's got 3. Imagine putting your podcast behind a paywall when you can't get, you know, he's done 3 podcasts. Like 3 different ones. He had March of the Pigs. He's got a football one now. Implications of Josh Denny. Darkest Hour. He's had all these 1,000,001 podcasts. You know. You know what we don't have new? Cups. Look how scratched up an old logo that cup is. A lot, you know. People say, Patrick, can't you afford a new cup? I think it's vintage. I think it's cool. I think it matches my flannel. Could care less what you guys think. Does your HOA know about your anti-lives matter protest? I hope not. If only his fake Twitter followers would subscribe. Denny broke a rib for his craft. What do you mean? Is that true? I don't know. Okay, we have a couple directions we can go tonight. I was really surprised today. The show's been up for a little over 24 hours. We put up the show analyzing Ty Rivera's sit-down with comedian Shang. I know Shang a little bit. We've had a couple conversations. We've done a couple shows together. No real opinion of him either way. Clearly, to me, he was a headliner. I don't really judge comics material, like whatever, you know what I mean? Unless they start talking mad shit, and then I'm going to turn my flashlight over to you and have a look. Costco flannel, get the fuck out. This is custom. I had a woman sew this on Etsy. So, you know, I don't really turn an eye to a person unless they kind of ask for it. Because I consider myself, you know, people watch clips of me or see my rhetoric and, thanks for that. And they get real judgy. And they say things like, "Oh, he's an angry, bitter man. He's so mad. He probably hates his mother." And I don't, you know, because she's dead. But at the same time, I don't take a lot of gruff, you know, from the neighborhood kids. I'll tell you like it is. So we're watching this Ty Rivera podcast, and he's basically, he is doing this weird breakdown trying to justify how he won the argument to a bunch of people who didn't even see it. From what I can tell, the podcast he was on with Shang and a guy named Black Pedro, basically they had him on and kind of ambushed him with all this. Like and I've watched a couple of these, Savage AF is what they call the podcast. These guys are blue-pilled. These guys are so fucking, and not Shang as much as Black Pedro. Black Pedro is out of his damn mind. We were watching the show the other night, and I had a little bit of an inkling, you know, that he may just be a little bit of a loop. But when you watch a few of these, it becomes very clear. This guy is an emotional mess. What's funny about their podcast, Savage AF, is their slogan is "fuck you" and "fuck your feelings." Only facts don't matter, or facts don't lie. Fuck your feelings, we bring facts. That kind of thing. Their entire podcast is made up of just anti-white. Like, it is super racist. Like, if you dive into it, like, it's super racist. Like, it's two very, very angry black guys, you know, who are very, very mad. So I don't know their personal experiences. I don't know what happened to them. But, you know, I'm telling you what it is. These guys are so fucking blinded with their head just like, you know, and they think that like their arguments are like rooted in facts and like deeply. But if you listen to them, like they can't mention any Republican without like name calling, even on the screen. Like they don't put Trump, they put like Trumpty Dumpty and bitch McConnell. And like they put that on the screen, like they Chiron. So they're like caught in this weird limbo of like trying to be a serious show that discusses like serious political topics, you know, slice of life of the day. And this comic show, which doesn't play out for them. Like it doesn't work very well. Shang is black? Yeah, I guess they're both black. Pedro's name is Pedro Hernandez. He's obviously half Latino. So I don't know, you know, and I don't know how everybody identifies and how it all plays out. But I will tell you this. The more you watch of them, the more you realize, like, facts don't matter. These guys have made up their mind. They even get literally, like, violent. They're like, I think all the white people should be taken out in the street and shot and hanged. Like, they get crazy with it. And it's just like, whoa. And they're like, yeah, it's their turn. And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. You know what I mean? And it's, like, not based on any founding. Like, their whole thing, again, is, like, fuck your feelings. Only facts matter. But, like, half the things that come out of their mouth are followed up by the phrase, like, I just feel like it was wrong. Like, you know what I mean? And it's a lot of, like, stuff that if you like, even, like, attempt to fact check it, like, I don't put any stock into these fucking anecdotal stories. You have to like point to it where it can be verified, or it just doesn't make sense. We all have feeling, like, you know what I mean? Like, you saw a Facebook post where a cop did X to a black X, and you're like, oh, and then you're running around telling everybody that, like that's what happened. It's like, this is one. There was the one guy who was the pastor. You can find this one up. There's a guy who puts these up, an ex-cop on YouTube. He's very good, and he's actually funny. And his channel is Donut Operator. He had one of these videos. This pastor gets pulled over or something, like in this neighborhood. He's driving around a really nice car, and he's in a really nice neighborhood. And he gets pulled over. And the cop asks for his license and registration. He reads the registration, tells the guy, hey, your registration's not valid. How long have you owned this car? He's like, no, here's the bill of sale. Like, I have he's like, yeah, but you got to take it down and get like the registration transferred over. And this guy goes on Facebook after. He's like, cops pulled me over. They asked me about drugs in my backseat. They told me that what was I doing in this neighborhood, that it was too nice of a neighborhood for me to be in, and asked me what, like, all this shit. And it's like, this guy posted up the video of it. That was the Facebook post that the guy wrote about the interaction. This guy even let him off, the cop. He said, well, yeah, this registration isn't valid. Don't drive again until you get this taken care of. Go to the DMV. I'm going to let you off with it. Have a good night. And he lets the guy go. There was no even asking about the back seat or what are you doing in this neighborhood. The guy volunteered the information. I live in this neighborhood. Like, it was just a complete made up point of view. And there's always like the people who go like, well, don't deny his experience. Like, that's, you know, his truth. And it's like, what? There's no multiple truths. There's one truth. And a lot of these stories, you'll hear about things that cops did to people. Like, honestly, wait and go look at the webcam footage. And it's so funny. Like, there's all this whole new level of like woke shit where like now citizens jump in whenever there's fucking something going down. So, like, cops pull up to a store and, like, draw their weapons at a guy on a payphone, and they're like, hey, let me see your hands, get your hands up. And then, like, citizens walk over with their cell phones out now, and they're going, like, he didn't do nothing. He's unarmed. Put your guns down. He's unarmed. Getting between them, yelling at the cops while the cops are trying to yell orders at the guy. You know, the guy can't hear the cops. People are screaming. They're all filming. What's your badge number? It's like, what the fuck, man? You guys are all out of your fucking minds. And just to have it in your mind that, like, oh, I think all the cops are out for it's just, dude, the same way you want to fucking get done with your job and go home to your family. Like, do you think cops don't want to do that? You really think cops are sitting around plotting ways in which they can, like, get after black people? It's just insanity. But these guys have bought into it. Full lock, stock, and barrel. Especially Wacko Pedro. These guys have a couple problems, okay? They have a podcast called Savage AF. Good luck finding it. You'll be hard-pressed to really find Savage AF or Black Pedro by Googling it. Googling it, you can find it. Search on YouTube for Savage AF, and good luck. What will come up is like a bunch of their old podcasts, but also just a million other things, because it's like Ty naming his podcast Unbothered. Say whatever you want about Nobody Likes Onions. We pretty much got the lock on that search phrase. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying other people don't type Nobody Likes Onions, but when you do, guess what'll pop up in your results? This shit. I go Savage AF. I type that into the fucking browser. This is what pops up. You know, first of all, we got Omarosa. The second video is memes. The third video is Ty Rivera's, probably because I've already watched it. So that's weighted. Theo Von is Savage AF. And I think that's Theo Von's, the name of his podcast. Like, so it's just really, really bad planning. So I think to get to it, you have to type Savage A.F.world. One thing. I think that is their username. or Savage AF. You get Savage A.F. You really have to type the dot. It's like it won't come up. I'm telling you, it's fucking impossible. So already off to a great start. Okay, here we go. It just came up. Savage AF. And what'll come up a lot is this old podcast that they used to have. But that's not around anymore. So Savage AF.
Hey, what's going on? And I'm here with Savage AF,
And this is insane. I use Castbox and can get the podcast there. Savage AF. Great. That's what I'm looking for. Where do you get Savage AF? So I don't know, man. It's weird because the other day, this Pedro guy, when he was arguing with Ty, he drops like, I've been opening for Shang for 16 years. It's like, what? Like, I don't know if that's making the point you think it's making. Like, bragging that you have opened for someone for 16 years is like, oh, congrats on being the Black Graham Elwood. Oh, you don't know Graham Elwood? Have you ever seen Doug Benson? Then you've seen Graham Elwood. And, you know, normally the stigma with a headliner bringing an opener on the road with him, like all the time, constantly, the stigma of that is, oh, the headliner must suck. And he brings his own feature because he knows that feature sucks. And that makes him seem funnier. That way he doesn't have to deal with an unknown feature who might, you know, blow him out of the water. And I'm not saying Shang does this because for sure Doug Benson doesn't do it. Doug Benson's very funny, right? And way funnier than Graham Elwood. I just think they're friends. And Graham Elwood got his claws into Doug. Hold on. I don't think Doug and him are friends anymore. What? Is that real? Because that's a fucking breaking news story to me. Everyone has a falling out. Eddie F has a great story about like hitting Graham Elwood, I think. There's some good Graham. Everyone has a falling out with Graham. He's the fucking worst. Go do some more sweet tea comedy, Graham. Sorry, I'm dead tired and I got really high, so there's like shit in my eyes. But you guys let me know where you're at. Are you interested in this Black Pedro Savage AF road? Would you like to go down this? These guys were just live a couple hours ago. I think they've already deleted that show. I also can't find the one that they did with Ty. It's like that one's been taken down. But God, I really want to find the one they just did. Why is the one they just did not available? We need this Black Pedro Savage AF road. Yeah, so I put a poll up. This is 100% real. I'm not lying to you at all. I put a poll up and I said, who was more cringe on this show? Ty Rivera, who we all know is the king of cringe. Ty Rivera, Black Pedro, or Shang. Everyone. Am I getting hacked? Everyone said Black Pedro. We had one tie vote on Facebook. Everyone on Instagram said Black Pedro. I had 3 texts from Las Vegas comedians today, and one of them was not Kool-Aid. He might be dead. I assume Kool-Aid's dead when I don't hear from him for a day. Everyone told me, you're right. Black Pedro is one of these guys who thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. Here's what's crazy. Black Pedro is from Detroit and went to Princeton. And he really thinks that makes him the smartest guy in every room he's in. Ty seemed thoughtful compared to Black Pedro. Ty was just like not falling for Pedro's baited questions. So it's a very, weird position we find ourselves in right now where we're sticking up for Ty Rivera. But yeah, Ty was, from what I could tell, was trying to be thoughtful, was trying to answer his questions. He was getting talked over. Pedro was bowing up. From the stream, it seems like he's a smaller man. So he might have this Napoleon-type complex where he just feels the need to bow up and control the situation. We even saw him literally say that. Like, I'm always in control. I'm always in control. It's my show. It's my show. It's like your manic energy makes it seem like you are not in control, not only of the show, but of your own life and emotions. And then I went down a little wormhole, diving into this guy. This is real. He has a day job. I think he's a waiter or a bartender, probably a waiter from it sounds like what he said, at a restaurant in Los Angeles. So let's add up all these things that give him this weird superiority knowledge complex and try to figure out where it came from. Because we've got a guy who, made it out of Detroit, went to Princeton, and I say made it out of Detroit, like grew up and came up out of Detroit. A lot of people get stuck there in that lifestyle. It's very easy. He makes it to Princeton. Did he finish his degree from Princeton? I noticed this language too. People just say he went to Princeton. His bio doesn't say he graduated from Princeton. Nothing says anything like, that we know definitely like he has a degree from Princeton. So that is a good point. It could be like he could be like Tom Cruise's character in Magnolia, where he just sat in on the classes. Frank T.J. Mackey's son, So anyway, but who cares? Regardless, it's weird. It's weird to throw that out. I had people in my graduate program who were fucking retarded. They were in IT. They were in computer information systems management courses. They were at MBA tracks. And they didn't have email addresses. They didn't understand what servers were. You know what I mean? Like, there are dumb people who, people graduate high school without ever knowing how to read. Did he get his degree? Extreme Pawn in Detroit. Yeah, if you want to watch a good show, Extreme Pawn. But whatever, you graduating from Princeton, you're a fucking waiter, and you've been opening for one guy for 16 years. It sounds like if Shang died tomorrow, so would your career and dreams with it. That's just what it sounds like. So I don't know, why Shang and him are friends. I don't know how they met. I'm not under any delusion that, Shang's gonna wake up and see that his friend is nuts. They've been together for 16 years, so I'm pretty sure they've aligned their, chakras. But you got to know you're hanging out, Shang, with a guy who sounds like an absolute loon. And I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe Shang is just as militant about all these opinions as Pedro. But Pedro sounds like an emotional bitch when he's talking. For real, it just sounds bad. We're going to get into it. I would like to find the show they just streamed. I can't see it up. The stuff just vanishes. Do you want to see the promo for their channel? Would you like to see? How to Shoot Heroin in My Pee Hole, it's called.
Hey, what's going on? This is Shang, and I'm here with Savage AF, and I wanted to let y'all know that we are going to be doing shows coming up this week. I'm on here with @Black Pedro or Black Pedro. We do the show Savage AF. And we would have did the show today, but I was going to shoot heroin into my pee hole. And so I'm probably going to shoot heroin into my pee hole. because I was doing meth. And once you do meth, you know you got to do some crack. You can't just not do no crack. You got to have crack. So after you do crack, then you go, you know what? I need something a little bit better. So I go, you know what? Boom, shooting heroin into my pee hole. So I need y'all to do me a favor so I don't continue to shoot heroin into my pee hole. I need y'all to make sure that you subscribe. There's going to be a button that's down below there, and I need y'all to subscribe. All right? I need y'all to subscribe and make sure y'all subscribe to the Savage AF on YouTube. Now I need you to subscribe and also click the little bitch ass button while I'm shooting heroin. I'm gonna be sitting here shooting heroin into my pee hole while you click the little bell that says, you know, you get alerts. So I need y'all to do me a favor, y'all. This is Savage AF, this is Shang, and I'm on here with Black Pedro all the time. But Black Pedro is in another city shooting heroin into his pee hole. So I need y'all to share these videos and share to subscribe with everybody. So I need you to share. I need you to subscribe. I need you to help me stop shooting heroin into my pee hole. Now, sometimes I like to take a hypodermic needle and shoot it into my butt crack. Like when you shoot in your butt crack, but then you can't sit down. But when you shoot in your pee hole, it's all a whole different thing. So everybody out there, make sure you do that. And if you don't, okay, you don't subscribe, I'm gonna let you know right now. If you don't subscribe, you fuck that, run hand, bitches. So I just want you to know that's what's gonna happen with my little cat enforcer. So I'm gonna let y'all know I need y'all to do what I say do when I say do it. Do you understand? I need y'all to do that, okay? And if you don't, you know what happens? Fuck that, run hands, bitches. That's what's gonna happen. All right. So I need you to subscribe.
So you gotta, you always got. Oh, this is half over.
Subscribe, goddammit. Subscribe to the goddamn channel. Goddamn it. All right. I just told y'all. What did I say? Subscribe, you motherfuckers, you. Okay. What?
This is like Crazy Joe, but better with tech.
Did you hear what I said? Subscribe, bitches. So I need you to subscribe. So subscribe, make sure you click the button, subscribe to the channel, subscribe, Savage AF, right now. Don't wait. Why are you waiting? Who are you waiting for? Subscribe.
This is Tim Henson level of cringe. Yeah.
Subscribe to the fucking channel. If you don't subscribe to this channel, you know what's gonna happen. First off, I'm gonna shoot heroin into my pee hole. Then I'm gonna crawl up in your house. Then I'm gonna take my balls and I'm gonna wipe it on all your
yeah. Correct.
back in the bag. So when you taste the bread, because
smoke alarm squeak.
Salty? Because you know why? Because
The breakfast of champions.
Ball taste on it. That's right. And if you don't,
Somebody makes a good point. Do you think he wants us to subscribe?
And make sure it's Savage AF. You see the big ass banner, Savage AF. Subscribe to Savage AF right the fuck now. I'm not playing with y'all. Subscribe. God damn it, subscribe to the channel and tell your friends to subscribe. What I say? Subscribe, god damn it. That's it. So you better subscribe. This is a song named Subscribe. So I'm going to go shoot heroin into my pee hole, and then I'm probably going to break in somebody's house and wipe my balls on the refrigerator. So if you don't want that in your life, you follow.
Somebody said the next Sinbad. Yeah.
And Black Pedro. Well, you know what? I'm going to show you the shit again. Subscribe. Click the little thing right there, the little bell thing. I'm out of here. Y'all be safe, right? Especially when you shoot heroin into your pee hole.
You still doing the heroin bit. Oh, yes. There it is. So, look. I don't have all the answers, okay? And maybe I was wrong. Maybe Shang is just as guilty in the creation of this podcast as Black Pedro. I still maintain Black Pedro's a much higher level of cringe than Shang, although that, you got to know, that was bad. That was up there. Like, that was one of the hardest things to watch. ever. Sinbaddest. Yeah. Yeah, I apologize for all that stuff. Let's see here.
Hey, what's going on? This is Shang, and I'm here with Savage.
What's really upsetting me is that today's podcast is not on here. Streamed 1 day ago. That wasn't today, though, right? February 2nd. This is yesterday. All their graphics are like 4:3 aspect ratio overlaid, and he does the entire show scroll his packbell.net PayPal at the bottom. This is broadcast.com real player level cringe stuff. So yeah. Wait, because it appears that he bought some sort of YouTube graphics package to like the click, like, and subscribe things. And he doesn't know how to he doesn't know how to key out the green. So he just throws up the wrong aspect ratio graphic of the subscribe button being clicked with a green background. And again, these are very small things. If you have a good podcast, it doesn't matter. And it's almost funny. Like if you were to do it meta, it's really funny because no one does that today. But he doesn't know. They just think the green background's cool. Like it's so fucking funny. Pedro's Spanish. To me, he looks Asian, regardless of the name. Guys, come on. We're here to get to the truth.
And so it begins.
Wait for me. Oh, shit.
I know you was coming in.
So Pedro's big shtick is called Pedro Poppin. And whenever the camera's on him, even during the show, like when the camera goes away from him and he has a bit later on called Poppin' with Pedro. He gets out of frame of the camera and pops up. Poppin'. What's poppin'? And he does an over-the-top Ebonic voice. But, he's allowed to do that because he's one of them. This is a Fritz production. Pretty dead on there.
The show was without me.
No. Don't buy into none of that shit.
No, Savage AF. I'm Black Pedro.
I'm Shang. What's going on, y'all? I want to let y'all know that
these guys are so, and I just have to tell you before it starts, they're so on board with the identity politics. America is just teeming with racism, systematic and otherwise, and it's just horrible out there, and they can barely go outside. There's so much racism. They're just one of those kind of people who's just like, do you ever get tired of being a victim? Do you want to have a good, you must be miserable. Somebody said, I'm sorry. Is this a bad podcast of the week? I think that is a great fucking idea. And if I only had the theme handy to hit it, fuck. I actually thought I had that handy. I thought we loaded that into the board. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Get ready for some good old-fashioned name-calling.
That was something that you said.
I was just bullshitting. And you know this, man.
It's time for the NLO Bad Podcast of the Week.
Thank you for your support. Thank you for the subscribers. Thank you for having our fan page on Facebook grow in leaps and bounds. That's real cool. We appreciate you majorly, and get us up to 5,000 people. We have 4,000 now, a little bit over 4,000. Get us up to 5,000. Also, make sure to use
strap in for 7 minutes of plugs up front. This is like the old Joe Rogan show, and there used to be 20 minutes of plugs up front. That's what they do. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. You know,
Subscribe. Stop playing. You already know what it is. We tell you in this beginning of the show.
nobody knows what it is. I literally their podcast is hard to find. I'm challenging you right now. Go to YouTube in your Virgin browser where you've never searched for this before, and just search Savage AF Show or Savage AF Podcast. And good luck. You'll find their old shows from like 2 years ago. Good luck finding where they broadcast from now. It's because like there's Savage AF World on YouTube. Sometimes they have a A.F. Sometimes it's Savage AF Show, Savage AF Podcast. I think it's Productions or something on Instagram. They all over the goddamn place. And you might be going, Patrick, you're NL Onions on Instagram. I thought it was going to go away. I was late on it. I was wrong.
To the channel. What part of that? Subscribe to the channel.
Oh yeah, he'll have like 4 subscribe graphics too, so get ready.
Okay?
On YouTube, y'all. On YouTube.
On YouTube. And not only when you subscribe.
Savage AF Podcast.
Oh, we got a few people that jumped on. Hey, what's up? What? Tell y'all your friends.
Lady
Yeah, we
Hazel
got-
me. Yeah.
Yeah, we got people jumping on. I want to say that all of them. Hey.
Nicole H, I see you.
Yeah, hey.
RVA Gourmet is back. What's going on? I see y'all, man. Taylor Miranda.
RVA Gourmet's in the building.
Just imagine
yeah,
being
she
so
did.
distracted by having people in your chat room that you have to call all of them out before you can even fucking go.
And RVA Gourmet, tell you some of your friends to get on this show, because I see Roland Martin out there doing big numbers. I see all these people out here doing big numbers. It's time for Savage AF to do the same numbers they do, even though we're new and we only been in this format for 2 months.
2 years they've been doing shows.
If that.
We building.
Yeah, we building.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's here. Come on through.
All
And when you do come through, it's Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live on YouTube and Facebook. Look up Savage AF Podcast on YouTube.
Just so people know, Moody, who is a very capable person, let's say, just said, yeah, I can't find this podcast. Right. It's tough. They've got a big problem. And you'll find the same problem on Twitter. You'll find the same problem on Facebook. What do they do in this pod other than get subscribers? You know what it do.
Or just Savage AF on, I think it's A.F. on Facebook.
Just put in Savage AF Podcast, because people have a hard time finding it. They're like, what?
Look, even they know. That's hilarious.
Where's the dot go? Is the dot there? Do I put the dot? Stop it. Savage AF Podcast is cool. And when you
No,
do
it doesn't
subscribe
work.
to it on YouTube, this is what I need.
They're like, stop worrying. Like, people have a real tough time finding us. Stop worrying about it. Just type it. It's like, that doesn't solve anything. Like, I don't know.
You to do.
There you go.
That's it.
That's it.
We have that in the beginning of the show to just let you know what it is. Also, when you subscribe, you can subscribe to the podcast version of the show, which we are updating and will be updated very shortly on iTunes.
Just so you know, like, for people who are not, because maybe people don't know this. I'm sure like a lot of people who are young and hip and with it know this. Like, what you're seeing with that green background, it's called chroma key. Okay, so like, a green screen. So like you videotape somebody in the green screen, you can get rid of the green later in post-production and put a fake background in. Put somebody, anywhere you want to put them. Well, you can also do that with graphics. So your favorite YouTube channels, you might see in the corner where it comes up like, hey, like, subscribe, click the bell, and they have a little hand come up and animated, click it. Well, that's what that is. That's a stock graphic you can buy and like overlay onto your videos. But you're supposed to key out, get rid of the green so that it's cleanly overlaid onto your video. Like that should come up over your faces, like a graphic. I don't know, man. It's funny. I use that exact same graphic in my videos, but I remove the dumb sound effects. Chrome Keymoji. Yeah, that's what it is.
Stitcher, Slacker, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and
like they're still just telling people where to find them. It's like these people have already found you. Do a show.
SoundCloud, yeah.
okay, see, yeah,
You
so y'all
gotta
know
do it
what
like you in
is.
the booth, like, yeah.
People without any fans are constantly worried about making their. Why did it do that? That was fucking weird. Are constantly worried about making their show available on every platform. Like that's the issue. The people need to be able to get to it. We're 3 minutes in and it still plugs. Oh, it hasn't started with the plugs. Like these guys haven't plugged their specials and their DVDs and their restaurant they wait at yet.
And they go, no, we're
you
going
turn
to
up
need
my
you to do that
headphones?
again. Yeah.
Do they do
always
graphics?
say that,
Yeah.
like they're not loud enough. Like, well, how was that? Was I loud enough? Yeah. No, you weren't loud enough. So make sure that you subscribe and tell your friends to subscribe. Also,
Like
you know
what?
it is. Make sure you follow on Instagram
They're still telling you about Instagram.
at Black Pedro. At Black Pedro, and make sure you sign up right now. You're on a computer, you're on your phone, sign up on iamshang.com right now. Stop playing. Stop it. You know what it is. Now we're gonna get into the
Stop
show.
saying you know what it is when we clearly don't.
And at the end, that's just the nature of these kind of shows. So don't get all your panties in a bunch.
Tanya Carey's
That's
in the
old man
building. I see you. Tanya Carey's in the building. Hide your kids. Okay. Where's my wallet? Let me make sure.
Yeah.
You know what it is, y'all. We're going to be here for you guys Monday through Friday. That's what we do here at Black.
He looks like if Dwayne Perkins had cancer and lost his ability to be funny. You guys know comedian Dwayne Perkins?
Yo, what's up? This is Dwayne Perkins. You're listening to Nobody Likes Onions.
That guy. Yeah. That's Dwayne Perkins, and if you Google a photo of them side by side, somebody could probably edit together, clean shots where these two look almost identical with the gap in the teeth and everything, just whistling around and stuff.
Pedro at Comedian Shang. You know what it is. Get at us. Get at this show. We thank you for staying up late. If it's close to your bedtime, we appreciate that. And that being said, we might. Oh. One last thing. Did we say Savage AF Radio on IG? I see.
Oh my God!
You got to hit them with multiple layers, visuals.
Why'd you give
I also looked up this microphone that Black Pedro uses. If you go on Amazon and search for Y20, I think it's called the Enigma Y20 or something like that. I know Y20 is in the name. It's like a $25 USB mic, but the brass knuckle thing around it, like, oh fuck, this guy's hard.
the kung fu fingers.
That's Eagle Claw.
You have Eagle. By the way, you must subscribe. Like, god damn, it's like you made it look like and fatality.
That's when I pull your heart out.
On today's show, I saw Shang's roommate go to the bathroom in the hallway, but behind him, it was weird. These guys both have roommates. Pedro's roommate, I think, has coronavirus, and he's not allowed to go home, or he's afraid to go home.
That's what that is.
It always does that. You have to do that when you grab their heart out. So make sure make sure that you subscribe. We got a lot of people jumping on the live right now, and we need more people to jump on. And I also check out the Facebook fan page. You know what it is. The people that aren't in page, we already know. Let's jump into the show.
Somebody get me you know what it is.
Let's get the run.
In the world.
Let's get the run in on the run up and the run down on the run up and the run in on the run up.
You know what it is.
Yeah, it's not a shock mount. Moody's right. It's supposed to look like a shock mount, I think, but it's not. It's like a mic, and it has it's a condenser mic that is like phono powered. So she's got the 3.5 millimeter jack on the end of it, and it's powered through that. So it is not. How you say good?
We are the kind of show that will run up on your ass, so that's what we do. We starting from the bottom. Now we here.
Oh, and they have a full format for the show. So this segment is called the Run Up. So they're gonna do some stories. Now they do 5 shows a week, and again, from what I can tell, the whole point of this show is we're angry, we're black men, white people need to be burned and shot, and why haven't they yet? That's the general gist of it. Trump's the devil. How come he won the election? They're still obsessed with like Kyle Rittenhouse and the election. It's just like stuff that doesn't matter. Like imagine thinking about Trump in the past 20 days. Like it's not a thing anymore. Imagine how infuriating it is for a fan of the show who's subscribed to now sit through this on every episode. You sprinkle it in a little, do it at the end, you know, whatever. Like you guys also don't even have any like list of things, so you're just mentioning everything 9 times. Like, did we say Instagram? Like, I don't know, bro. What it is. You know what it is. Like no one knows.
We're gonna go with we're gonna end with a Shangri, of course. You know how we end the show. So
so they're gonna do the run up, and then they're gonna do Black Pedro does a segment called Poppin'. What's poppin' with Poppin'? Where he literally gets out of the frame and pops in, and he goes, "What's poppin'? It's Pedro here to tell you what's poppin'." Like literally, that's what he does. A really Ebonic-y voice, and I think it's offensive to black people. Friends of mine.
Fuck the police. Again. Seems like a cyclical theme. For my Black Pedro Poppin', we're going to talk about some vaccine scams and how to protect.
And then they do I guess Shang had an hour comedy special called Shangri that he put out recently himself on Prime, on his own Prime, on his hard drive. I don't know. And now he does a segment at the end called Shangri, so that you know what he's yelling about.
Yourself from that junk. And then, but before we get into that, we talk about a bit of backtracking. QAnon Taylor Greene, or QTG as I like to call her, the newest member, one of the newest members of Congress who is fully monkey-minded.
So again, their whole thing is like, fuck your feelings, facts matter. That's their thing of their podcast. But again, they can't mention a Republican or like an enemy to them without giving them a nickname and clowning on them. Like they won't say Trump did this. They'll say Trumpty Dumpty. Oh, Dippy Donald did this. Like they can't do it. They can't say a name. They do Bitch McConnell. It's just like, are you a serious podcast about the issues? Or are you the hackiest political podcast from yesteryear? Like, which one are you? It's like, it really shades how serious we can take any of your arguments when everything you do seems emotion-based. Your thing's called Fuck Your Feelings, Facts Matter. It all seems emotion-based and identity politics-based. Like, you'll see. Strap in.
She's been forced to acknowledge the Parkland shootings and eat crow, as they say. But before we get into that,
like he did one today. We were watching his show earlier today, and I'm sorry to keep cutting it off, but you got to get some of this back information. He did a show today where he did a story about how a couple on American Airlines had an extra baggage fee. There was a black tax. It's an African American fee. And they went on, and they were like this is serious. And I wanted to show today's show. You can't find the video. They've already 86'd it from the menu. But they were literally like, now a simple Google of this story, you'll find, I believe Capital One took credit for this. It was a destination of a flight, Africa, or African continent or destination or something, and just in the line item fee in American Airlines. So it said like African American and had an extra baggage fee because they checked extra baggage and were charged for it. These guys literally went like, they've been doing this for years, charging black people more, taxing us just for the same services, and they finally got caught. It snuck out on the receipt. And it's like, and again, a simple Google of this, you'll already find out Capital One or one of these banks stepped up and told them what the problem was. But they didn't do that research to give you that part of the story. It was systematic racism. Airlines have been charging black people extra for years, and now it's just finally come to light. It's just like, imagine living your life. And by the way, even if they had the information, the real information on what happened, you wouldn't be able to convince them that it wasn't. No, American Airlines is in a cabal with the other airlines trying to bilk black people for more money. Okay? As if that's the race to squeeze. Like, you can't have it both ways, black people. Which is it? That we're poor and have kept you down and that's why you have nothing? Or that we are just trying to get more out of you because we know your pockets are lined with silver coins? Like, which one is it? It's whatever fits the narrative today for whatever bullshit story. It's just like when I can find out what really happened with a simple Google, you think these guys throw hands? Yeah. They say they do. And that's why you have to be careful when you get into like these stories, but I dive into these comedy scenes and you'll really find some interesting characters. And, this all started out with Ty Rivera. We thought he would be the most interesting character
in the world,
but he's not. He led us to Black Pedro, Black Pedro is the leftist version of Trey's Mala. So you know how Trey's Mal is a complete fucking nut? That's Black Pedro on the other end of the spectrum. Trey's super right-wing nut. Black Pedro, super left-wing nut. And if you're a normal person, you're just sitting there watching them going like, what the fuck? And here's how, this is a mark for a maniac. I'll tell you that. Walking around or taking videos of yourself. Pedro's got 9,000 videos on his Instagram of him like holding up a phone with his TV in the background, filming himself while like the press secretary talks in the White House, just making faces like, that's right. Like, it's just like, what? Are you okay, man? Like, get fucking real. They're all a little like loosey-goosey. And Trey's does the same thing too, Trey's walks through a parking lot with a mask off going like, I ain't wearing no mask. I'm a free breather. As he looks around to see nobody's seeing him so he doesn't look insane. I'm a free breather. Ain't no man. It's like, you guys are all nuts. You know what I mean? Imagine filming yourself listening to Sean Spicer. Like, get the fuck out of here. Oh, fuck. You're strap in for it, man. You guys have no idea. Like, they believe they are down the rabbit hole. Blue pilled so hard. But you got to be careful. Like, again, like those guys like Trey's or like these guys. Like, I don't know, Shang. Yeah, he might just fucking like start swinging on me next time he sees me. I don't fucking know. That doesn't mean I'm going to sit here while you say subscribe 9,000 times to your people in 3 minutes and not act like that's insanely cringe. He's holding his mic like Freddie Mercury as well. Keeps it on the stand but moves it around. Yeah, Pedro loves holding his mic. These are all maniac mannerisms. Spot your own, and I'd love to get a bingo going, Moody. Maybe we can get. I know we have to do Thai bingo. We need to get that up and running now that we're back in the swing of things. But let's make sure that we can spawn off new bingo boards. Let's buy a domain like bobobingo.com we'll just call them Bobos. Oh, how about It Bingo? Out of it bingo. And then we'll just have Thai.uitbingo.com. And we'll have savage.uitbingo.com. And every time we watch one of these guys, denny.uitbingo.com. And then every time we watch one of these guys, and you'll be able to spawn your own. Maybe we'll set it up where you can spawn your own. I think this would be a great app. Moody, can you have that done in 2 days? That would be great. Thanks.
Talk about this countdown, 6 days away from the impeachment trial to begin in the Senate, and your boy is having a hard time. Boop, beep, boop. It's like the 24. But
I love when you have to do a parody, but it's so bad you have to go 24. It's literally like Michael Scott when he does an impression that's so bad that nobody could get it, and he would just go RoboCop. Oh, okay, that makes sense. What?
A defense that doesn't sound like a kid with chocolate chips on their face talking about they didn't eat the cookies. You know what I'm saying? But before we get into that, Savage AF, February 2nd, 2021. We're going to start off with the border order. Your boy Biden has, done some more work to reverse immigration laws. Obviously ban.
Here's how you know. Here's how you know that these guys are so fucking blue it hurt, like retarded. They're not questioning anything anymore, and they can't be told anything. Like, anyone like really into Biden and Kamala, it's like, you're lying. You're lying. Like, nobody's pumped up. My boy Biden did it again. Like, what? No, he didn't. What, fell asleep on the toilet? What did he do again? Yo, you know my boy Biden. Like, who?
Planning the separation of kids at the border, and you can see the man. He busy. He got things
He's
to
busy.
sign.
He got a lot of shit to sign.
It's like he dropped the album and he's signing them after the show. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute, hold up. What album would Biden drop? All right, and the name of the album would be, all right, here's the deal.
or it'd be called like, if you don't buy this, you ain't black.
You know, yeah, exactly.
This is hip hop, y'all.
That was a great little comedy cul-de-sac we just went down.
So, I want us to be cautious about our optimism here. Well, not that it's not a good move that Biden is making today, and in terms of, or has made today, in terms of, reversing many of Trump's racist and xenophobic and just cruel policies towards.
So he's been behind the desk all day, signing away executive orders to undo Trump's racist and xenophobic policies. Won't name one. I'd like to know what racist policy is he undoing? What xenophobic? Like, here's the thing. It's like, I can't, I'm not even going to buy this fucking troll shit. But this is like an absolute fucking trick that idiots use to like win arguments. They throw out things with like facts that you're just supposed to fucking co-sign off on because like the predicate of the sentence is accurate. You know what I mean? Well, you have to admit that when Trump did tweet all those racist things, they did let him stay on Twitter. It's like, well, if you go, yeah, well, they did let him stay on Twitter. Now you've co-signed that he said a bunch of racist things on Twitter. It's like, you have to really be able to separate your emotions and your anecdotal horseshit from like policy and law. The things that Trump did is that you could even remotely call xenophobic, and I'm talking about policy, are the border cage thing, which we've been over a million times, and Ty went over with him on the last show, but also the 7 countries on the ban list. When there were a lot of refugees coming from Muslim countries, and he did it kind of as a security measure, but then the checks and balances of the system worked, and federal judges overthrew that, and it all got done. But these guys aren't balanced. They don't understand nuances of things. They're sensationalists. And again, like really everything is just tied up in identity, and they justify, and this is the same thing I've said about everything. It's like they justify everything. They were mad today that Canada, like this is an example of just like, it's never enough for these fucking people, by the way. Canada made the Proud Boys a terrorist group. Now, if you know anything about the Proud Boys, you'll know they like to fucking troll people, cook barbecue, and drink beer. It's like Steve Curran, but more fit. And they're pretty, don't get me wrong. They demonstrate, and there have been altercations, and there have been issues, and I highly am certain, just like anywhere, there's probably corrupt members of it and racist people, and just like anywhere else. I mean, there's plenty of people in Antifa who have firebombed cop cars, and then went back to try to teach the next day until they got ID'd by tattoos because their sleeves slipped up. There's a lot of people who can justify a lot of shit when you deem yourself morally right. And when I don't want to fucking do this. I don't want to get into it. The point is, you have to be able to take a step back and understand that everything is motivated by some agenda on both fucking sides. And when you're blind to that, and when you have an allegiance to one side, and you make a declarative statement that's like, I'm never changing my mind. Like these guys, every argument boils down to them getting like frustrated like a little girl, and then just going like, but how could that even be? How can we live in America with it like this? It's just like, I mean, write a book or a poem, Maya Angelou. Like, it just doesn't go anywhere. Way to go, Canada. Yeah, they're mad at the Proud Boys being labeled a terrorist group in Canada. Why were they mad? They were mad that Canada did it before America. They said, why can't America be on the forefront of squashing out fascism? Why can't America be on the forefront for once? It's like, they don't have free speech in Canada, and like comedians get fined $80,000 for telling jokes that hurt a little boy's feeling in Canada. And actually, when you do talk to people about their amazing healthcare system that Bernie says comes with a free hot chocolate and a unicorn every morning, none of this is actually accurate. And even my friends in the UK, will tell you, if they have jobs where they have private insurance, it's so much better. And I'm not saying that there's not a happy mix between it all. It's but these guys are. There's no happy mix. They literally want white people beaten. It's crazy. And I think it's weird to self-fellate for hours on end to each other when you guys are just in your own little bubble and mirroring everything back to each other constantly. Is why do you guys just even get together every night to just circle jerk like this? It's do you ever learn anything or come up with something new? Or is it just, did Trump designate the KKK a terrorist group? Yeah, it just but even having this discussion is a mark of spinning your wheels. It's who cares what's marked as a terrorist group and what's not marked? Do you understand that doesn't do anything? It doesn't move the goddamn needle. Great, they're going to seize these guys' bank accounts and put them on no-fly lists. It's pretty fucked. Oh, thanks for the cheer, dog. The Yang Gang. Thanks for my basic income.
Particularly the separation of kids from their parents at the border.
Right.
But it is going to take some time. Press Secretary Jen Psaki today was hold on. This shit doesn't happen overnight. It's not a magic wand. It's a pen. And it's going to take some time. So
it is also another side of it, which is fucked up. Actually, some of the kids have actually been foster cared and been put into foster homes. So once they're in a foster home, they're going to have to take them out of that foster home and send them back to their parents, which basically send them back to a place they're not even, hip to. They don't know nothing about where they're at. And the other thing about it is they're trying to say, well, the Obama administration did this, and this is the way they talk when they do it.
Literally, that's how they do it. So they name call and do Southern voices. It's just wow. Gotta love those no-fly videos though. Yeah.
But I want y'all to not judge me. It's just there's the Obama administration when they moved their mouth like that. When the Obama administration did the same thing and what if and what about? Shut the fuck up. All right. Yeah. Obviously, Biden with his evil. Biden got some shit too that he got answer to. But Trump with his evil ass and also
Trumpty Dumpty. See,
and all of these fucking.
Did you see that? Shang said Trump and he had to go Trumpty Dumpty. It's oh shit. It's remember, this guy went to Princeton.
All of them, not some of them, all of them were complicit because they let the shit slide. And there was an evilness to it because they specifically said, make sure you, take the kids away from the parents as a deterrent to let these Mexicans know not to come here.
It was a deliberate move to, discourage.
I'll never understand this argument, and it doesn't make sense, but it's can you imagine an older thing to be upset about? This thing with the Mexicans in cages and the shithole countries and stuff, the caravans, this was all early Trump, right? So why is everybody still upset? What do you think's going to happen now? What do you, they don't say, they're and then they just throw out statements and Trump was complicit in those policies that were straight up evil. And it's just but you never say what the policies are. My pronouns are it and that. So if you ever want to send me a gift.
Immigrants from coming to our country. I see people jumping in. Some of y'all a little late. So you know what to do. You got to get up on the poll. Now, I don't usually run the poll. Stacey Patterson, I see you. Miss No Sick Name, Garlene Kane. Mr. Castello, I see you.
What is
Shanina
happening?
Nina. Go ahead with it. Oh,
Did
by
you
the way,
say Shanina Nina?
I'm looking at it on the screen. Shanina Nina. Go ahead, girl. But by the way, quick sidebar. Miss Adverb did hit me up before the show to say she was going to be late. And if you don't want to be chastised, if you don't want to do poll work, then you're going that would be the smartest thing to do is to let us know.
Okay. In other words, it's okay.
She got a hall pass. She got a hall pass.
But AJ,
but that being said,
what?
AJ Fitz in the building.
Yep.
AJ Fit. I just want AJ Fit. Just
nigga, you need my arm too to catch up.
My arm.
We'd have to.
I used to be muscular. Now I'm just pudding. So
Maria Del Carmen, we see you, girl. Don't apologize. Just get up on that pole.
And they're still just reading chat names again.
Said,
they're very easily distracted.
That is the number of children whose parents can't be found in our system right now. 611. Now, globally, as populations, sounds like a small number. About the size of my, a little bit less than the size of my high school graduating class. So I think about it like that. Like, think about it. If me and everybody that I graduated high school with could not find our parents.
Aren't you 50? Like, what do you mean? Imagine if me and everybody I graduated with in 1943 couldn't find their parents. Like, I'm sure they're 6 feet under wherever you're looking. Can you imagine having to let the podcast you listen to know that you're going to be late? If you ever message me with that shit.
I don't care.
Yeah. Can you imagine if me as a 52-year-old waiter couldn't find my parent?
And the government that's separated.
And I also don't believe any of these people care about any of this shit. Call me cynical. You know what I mean? Like, I do not believe it. I just don't believe it. I'd like to know when you start. I would love to know your record of speaking out about the atrocities of children pre-Trump. I don't think you care. I don't think you care. You're cynical. Thanks, man. That really hurt.
From each other, can't find them. That is some sad shit.
Not only that, here we go. Imagine
here we go again.
And change little white kids. Little white kids that couldn't, find their parents. Or were taking little white kids taken away from their parents. How much would the government be all over that shit?
Imagine really believing that the reason we're trying to keep Mexicans out of the country is because of the color of their skin. Imagine holding that belief, really holding it. You are an insane person, and you grossly do not understand the motivations of power of nation states. Like, the fuck if the Illuminati and the Bilderbergs give a fuck about what race you are? The fuck? I'll never understand this stuff. You Google that. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. There's a YouTube video of another congressperson having to explain to AOC that entering the country illegal is actually a crime. You know what I mean? So, like, she's like, and you tell me why when someone gets caught crossing the border illegally, they're taken away from their parents. And then he was like, well, I mean, if you're caught drunk driving and you have a kid in the back seat, we take the kid away. Like, this is what the guy said. And she's like, crossing the border illegally is not illegal. Like she says that. Or she's like, crossing for asylum is not illegal. And he said, yes, it is. You have to go to a port of entry to seek asylum. Like there is a process for it. And if you cross the border, otherwise, you are illegally crossing the border. You are committing a crime. He did it as a deterrent to try to keep people from coming. He said, like, if you come, they're going to take your kids away. It's like, good. Like, what do you mean? Yeah, please don't form a caravan and try to cross illegally into our country. We will take your kids away from you. And we all know that a lot of those fucking kids were like muled by, oh, come on, coyotes. Don't prejudge. Maybe they have a segment about the war in Yemen in the re-education camps. Oh, yeah, it's coming up in What's Poppin'.
I am doing that. I'm going to definitely be bringing that up more on the show because we do that. Like, remember when people say, Pedro, when they would say,
I'm going to be bringing that up more on the show. Good.
Like, well, Obama, if this and Obama that, if it was a black president or if it was black people that rushed the Capitol, they say that.
Pedro does these little cartoon act outs sometimes. I find these really odd. He'll do this a few times a day. This is a weird one to me. Hold on 1 second. Oh, fuck. Doesn't the arrow key wind that back? Yeah, watch Pedro's little act out doing the, like, because they're side by side, you know, in the windows. So he'll look over to the other window and be like it's a TikTok, and he's reacting over there. Okay?
Hey, like, well, Obama, if this and Obama.
Look at that face. Look at him.
If it was a black president or if it was black people that rushed the Capitol, they say that. And
then looking back at the screen at himself, it's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, they say, but we have to say that because that's what the fuck it is.
Hold on. What did you just say? Why are you saying yikes, Patrick? Which part? What did I say wrong? I say it. Look, I say a lot of stuff. Don't get mad at me.
That's the reality. If those were little white kids,
I don't do a serious political show.
Fucking, you know it. If that was little white kids, they'd find those little kids' parents, and they would reunite them and make a reality show of the shit, and it would be on TV right now. But it'd be a bunch of little white kids. Mom, I'm right here. Mom, come get me. Mom.
Well, I just think it's always interesting when you, when you criticize a Trump era, decision, move, policy, or whatever you want to call these things,
right.
That they want to change the subject and be like, well, did you know Obama did this? And it's like, that motherfucker ain't been president for 4 years.
Right.
And then you want to attach all the bad shit to him, but not recognize the
good shit,
good things that he's done for the economy that Trump was trying to claim. And
right.
So it's like that, it's an insane way to argue things.
Okay.
This perpetual argument that we have every fucking time there's a transition of power in this country where it's like, nah, if things were bad under Obama, it's because he had to clean up everything Bush was doing. Nah, if things were bad with Trump, it's because he had to clean up everything that Obama. But if things are good with Trump, it's like, oh, this is Trump's doing. Now, like, Biden's gonna suck ass and the economy's gonna go down the tank. You're like, well, look what he was handed from Trump. He was like, before coronavirus, he's handing a economy that was fucking spinning like a top. As far as I know, Trump was like the first president in 19 years that decreased African American unemployment. Like, I don't know what everybody's talking about. But yeah, let's see what's popping.
Biden's he's doing it a little slow, but he is slow because he is in his 70s. So he does some things slow. But pertaining to the border, if you look at how they're doing it pertaining to the border, at least it's something that is a little bit more proactive pertaining to trying to get people that have families.
Oh my God, look at this point in the comments. They didn't care when poor white kids witnessed their parents OD'd on oxygen either. What?
And their children back together, and they're making a task force that's going to take time, a task force to actually, dedicated specifically to get these kids back with their parents. So at least he did that. Trump didn't do that shit. And any of his followers, he did it on purpose. And by the way, fuck all y'all. Fuck everybody that thought that was cool. Fuck all y'all. If you got kids, you know that you'd be panicked out of your fucking mind.
If I had kids, I wouldn't be crossing a border with them in a fucking baby Bjorn up to my tits and slugs in a river. Like, what's the play stupid games, win stupid prizes? It's like that works for everything from bungee jumping to trying to infiltrate a country's borders illegally. I think what you were saying yikes about was that I was saying, like, good, take their kids away as a deterrent. Like, yeah, I'm sorry that I want the laws enforced. I've always been about that. And look, I'm all for reform of amnesty laws. I'm not for, like, kicking people out who are here. You know, I'm for, like, working on a system that integrates them legally into the country or kicking them out. It's either you're going to, like, enforce laws that you have or change the laws. Free the weed. You look great with a baby Bjorn. No shit. I look great in a baby Bjorn. I wonder what they think of Trump's platinum plan.
They did that to my kids. Of course I'd want to punch anybody that's a Republican in their fucking throat.
By the way, you know, they're so logical, fuck your feelings, but they get so riled up about this stuff. They're just like, fuck you. Fuck you. It's just like, you guys are out. You're unhinged. Like a snake trying to swallow a deer.
Do that, but I want to.
It's a desire. It's a desire, guys.
It's a
Can we
desire.
dream? Can I have my dreams?
Oh, thanks for the scrub it out sub.
Can I dream?
RVA Gourmet
Whatever.
brings up an important point. She's like, they didn't care when poor white kids witnessed their parents OD'd on, and she means Oxycontin and you know, the pharmaceuticals, you know, the opioid epidemic. And I think that the key word in there is poor, because that is, you know, that is the underlying factor behind America, right? Is that ultimately black, white, if you poor, this country don't give a good goddamn donkey.
I mean, now you're changing your whole fucking foundation of belief. Now you're admitting it's a socioeconomic problem, which doesn't line up with your narrative that everybody's racist. Enjoy.
I disagree. Okay, this is where
No.
This
Seriously,
is where the debate starts.
See, I disagree. Here we go.
White kids could be absolutely incompetent pieces of shit, and they're still given the benefit of the doubt. And if the opioid crisis, I'm not biting from Dave Chappelle, because this is
like what does that mean? Like it sounded like you really said something there. These are all feelings-based things. These are all anecdotal things. No, I disagree with you. Take my word. For instance, white kids get away with anything, and they're given the benefit of the doubt, whereas black, it's like you didn't say anything. You threw out a generalized opinion. What are you like? What does that even mean? Nothing. Sounds good. Sounds like it's really something.
And white people all the time. Well, why don't you just pull yourself up by your bootstraps? I mean, because they didn't do shit when it came to crack. When it came to crack, they didn't give a fuck about black kids, you know, and black kids seeing their mother or father crack the fuck out. But now we're supposed to weep. Get the fuck out of here. Eat a bag of dicks.
Crack. I think the crack epidemic of the 80s of the late 70s, 80s, led to the fucking war on drugs. Now, granted, probably to protect all the white kids from that dangerous crack. But we just really throw out these general, you know, undefendable statements. And like, I just, they said a thing they had one, I don't know if it's on this show, maybe the last show, it all runs together because they're all kind of the same. On one of their things, it was just like, you know what you have to do? Because the system is so rigged against you. If you're black, just lay down and wait to die. That's all you can do. And it's like, imagine being a young black kid and trying to watch this. It's like, from what I hear, there's only one side constantly hammering black people with the systematic racism narrative, just like, you can't succeed. You need us. We got to give you money. Nobody's going to help you. We'll help you. You're never going to do this on your own. Versus somebody going, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You can do it. Suck it up. Work hard. Do it. Now, does that work for everyone? No. Clearly, like, if you're not funny, you'll still have to wait tables. But I'd much rather be encouraged. You know, I was a fucking whiny little bitch when I was a kid. I was trying to learn how to ride my bike, take my training wheels off, you know, go to the two-wheeler like the other boys. So we could go down by the creek, look at the nudie mags that we found out in the woods. You know, I wanted to be cool. All my kids were getting their training wheels off. Fell down, scraped my knee. My dad, he didn't pamper me. I'm like, get up, stop crying, do it again, figure it out. What if he would have said, you'll never be able to do this. Why don't you get a sidecar and I'll take you everywhere you need to go, son. You're being held down by gravity. You're a fat boy. It's a systematic oppression. Newton did this to you. And you need to fight back. But don't bother fighting back also. It's just like what's the like, which one is it? Do we need to fit? And nobody has a concrete goal for any of this, by the way. You know, these guys are fighting hard for change, and they want to undo all this systematic oppression. It's like they can give no concrete examples of it or you know, steps that might improve this vaporware called systematic racism. Like, I'd like to see the pamphlet from the DMV where they say, black people, you'll have to wait longer for your license per the systematic racism. You know the policy. And they would go, well, what about that? What about that? American Airlines African fee. Aha! And I'm like, well, if you Google it, and they'll be like, that's all the time we have. So, like, there are people like, and you know these people when you're arguing with them, they're the kind of people who, like, swing from premise to premise, like Tarzan from vine to vine, because they're just trying to find something. They're not interested in actually solving anything or learning anything or having any kind of a real discussion. What they're interested in is winning the argument. That is paramount. It's more important than actually, you know, turning the hamster wheel to them. You see this more and more, like, nobody can have an actual fundamental discussion. Everything devolves into name calling. Yeah, but what about when you did this? It's just like, what? It just doesn't make sense. How can you fight against racism, all these protests, and yet I didn't see anything change? Right. Also, there's something weird going on in the country, and I can't tell. You tell me. You know, I'm no expert on this stuff by any means. It's like, did all the Black Lives Matter stuff just get? Are we all good now? Like, the election happened, Biden got elected, and now we're all just done? The police can come back now, or are the police still bad? Like, I don't know. Like, it just seems like all the problems went away the day, which, you know, I'm glad for. If we're all good now, then I'm glad. But what I hear is, like, these guys are angry about, like, everything from, like, the kids in cages in 2016 to Kyle Rittenhouse. And when they were arguing with Ty Rivera last week, it was like stuff like, do you think he really won the election or not, Biden? And it's just like, what are you talking about? Imagine giving AF about that. Savage AF.
There have been lawsuits and settlements since, but in reality, that epidemic was allowed to run through that community, and these were mostly poor white people that this is happening to. And to be honest, we do need to start talking about the commonality that poor white people have with all people of color and all minorities, is that this government is, I mean, look at the stimulus situation now. They don't give a fuck. Not even Joe Manchin, from coal mining daughter ass West Virginia.
What is gold mining?
I was
Like
born a coal miner's daughter.
daughter.
Like, bro,
Yeah,
he's not doing the right thing for his people right now. He is not out here fighting for the right money for them. So
yeah, that's fucked up, man.
I need a clip.
There is this commonality.
Somebody give me a clip of Shang just going, you know what it is?
Big Gourmet says only racism saved us from Oxy because, they think niggas are super strong and don't have pain. They already think we're crackheads. So they're like, you can't have this. This is for white people.
This would be.
Wes says we need significant police reform in Portland. Our cops are the kind of people who let rioters into the Capitol in D.C. Problems disappear in the second the news stops reporting on them, e.g. school shootings. Right. Which lets you know it's all just a smoke and mirrors show. And you can read, you just should read all the stories and then read other sources. Had they cared, for instance, about when I hear that, when I go oh, there was a line item in American Airlines system for African American fee. And it's just your brain tells you that that's not right before you even start going down the path. You're like, well, that's not, you know what I mean? And every once in a while you get the guy got a receipt at Chipotle, and for the description of the customer, they wrote ugly fat bitch, or black guy with dumb hair. That happens. Employees type that in, and then it gets printed on the customer's receipt, and then they get summarily fired, and gift cards for the rest of their life are doled out to the idiot who got hurt by a receipt. You call me a fat loser on my Chipotle receipt, I'm looking down at it going, accurate. Is my burrito ready? You can choose to move through this life unaffected by horseshit. Or you can be a super sensitive, out of touch weirdo who's just hurt and oppressed by everything. This face Pedro is making is hilarious. It sounds like both these guys are so blue-pilled it hurts. We legalized small personal amounts of drugs in Oregon. Went into effect 2/1. Oh, good. I do think that's probably the way everything's going to go. The problem is with the police, man. I don't know, man. If I'm at the Capitol guarding a bunch of people who basically have been calling for my head and lumping me, AOC and these types of people, it's easy to write her off as just a ditzy dummy because she kind of is. But she must be brilliant. She knows how to control a news cycle and make everything about her like a fucking nut. But I'm sorry. I've watched you on TV go on and on about how my job is unnecessary. I should be in jail. We're all corrupt racists without the people's best interests at heart. And systematically, we've been trained that way. And we just need to be dismantled and try something else. Imagine having your job, your livelihood talked about like that by policymakers on a grand stage. It's just police no longer have to go after those calls now. Usually it was the homeless, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, I would too. I'm sorry, if I'm a cop, I have no excuse to get out of my car. I'm sitting on my shift. I'm not going to any calls. Fuck you. I'm not a cop. Thank God. I find a life of service loathsome at best. But, fuck you. Because all these guys, I swear to God, the minute something goes wrong, these guys want the cop. It's just you can't have it both ways. And I'm all for reform and reorganization, finding things that actually work. Clearly, they need to be trained a lot. We clearly do let just, unbridled, complete nut jobs in as officers. So more stringent screening processes, training, global scale shit. Find what systems are working. Follow those. The Pledge of Allegiance does make U.S. kind of seem cultish. I'd like you to pledge allegiance to this show every time you watch it.
Like giving you, it's like that Jamie Foxx movie where you take a pill and you're strong and you have superpowers. That's basically what they thought. It's like, I ain't giving that nigga no, so I can have a super nigga. We don't want
It'll only make them stronger. Are you crazy?
You want a nigga that's already super strong to be even stronger? Get the fuck. Let me tell you something.
And when they talk like this, like it makes me cringe because it's like, and I know that they will look at me. Like I look like a Trump voter, like a guy who carries, guns in his beard. I look like redneck trash. I got you. I didn't go to Princeton. And these are the kind of guys you can't convince about anything regardless. But it's sad to me. It's sad to me that like those kinds of conclusions will be drawn. And then you can immediately write off anything. By the way, just write off all this because you just go, Trumpty Dumpty supporter. I find it disheartening.
And Pedro's right. It was Little White Kids. And there's a song by J. Cole called Album of the Year. And it's like almost like.
But you also see how they see themselves. Like when they talk about white people or when they do white people's voices, they talk down to themselves. Oh, just it's just like, what? Like, is that how you see yourself? Just shit? You see yourselves as just shit? Like, I know YouTube viewers see you as that, but that's because of the show. It's very, like, you're keeping yourself in this submissive role. Not poor you. Like, what are you all talking about? And by the way, they go off on one of these tangents. They're just like, how could we ever have a country where anyone could think that way about black people? And it's just like, again, you sound like an insane person if your goal is to get everyone in the world to not be racist. What a fool's errand. How much of your life are you going to waste on that? That sounds nuts.
Freestyle us over another beat. And he says that we didn't give a fuck. No, it was a problem with little Timmy had a problem with Oxy.
I look neo-Amish. Thank you.
Let's just say, I don't know the bars exactly, but when it was little Maceo, nobody gave a fuck.
There you go.
Because Maceo to me, for some reason, inherently sounds like a black name. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, for sure, dog. That's what it is, man. But so just keep in mind that the full power of these policy changes at the border are going to take time. So Jen Psaki, the press secretary, today, like, what would you say to immigrants who are on their way or planning to come because now they believe that there'll be better policies and more acceptance?
Right.
She was like, skirt your brakes on. Hold on, guys. Give us we haven't quite we haven't
figured that out yet.
It's like when housekeeping's like, oh, we're still working on your room.
You're right.
We gotta
still clean the blood up from the last person. So
listen, Ronell Yuan Humphrey said he knew a Maceo. So that's validation. That's hood validation.
Maceo, yeah. And but I like the fact
he would never be able to take criticism from a white. Are people okay with an Asian like him using the N-word and making generalizations? Is Shang Asian? I don't know about that. So if that's, I have no solid info on that. Please don't.
She does go.
Dox me.
Hold on, guys. Now.
Yeah, she does stop it. Hold up. Wait a minute. She does that a lot, and she has to. I mean, and it's just the way it is. Oh, okay. What did AJ Fitz say?
He said blacks caught with cocaine looking at life for most of their life in prison. Whites caught with meth don't get the same time, but there's more of a meth problem. Yeah, no, absolutely, bro. And we could spend a whole nother show talking about the imbalance in there. Oh, by the way,
yeah.
Oh, by the way, though, on the horizon, and maybe later this week I'll get into this a little bit more as
what's poppin' though?
Chuck Schumer and other congressional leaders are it's Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, and one other who are leading a bill for the federal legalization of.
Why would anyone get their news from these dopes? Why would you watch this show? It's all hyperbole, gross misunderstandings, and emotion-fueled blanket rhetoric. It's like literally what Trump's Twitter account is. It's just wrong facts, emotional reactions, a lot of name call. It's like everything they hate Trump for. I definitely nobody's like coming here to get their news. Like, this isn't like a good place. Like, it was Chuck Schumer and what's it call it? It's like you can't even like. What are you doing? What is this show? It doesn't feel like anything. It's Savage AF. Strap in. Our opinions are unbridled, and if you ain't good with it, get the fuck out. And it's like none of your shit is original, inspired. You've meshed nothing almost with like any sort of like personal experiences and given us reason why you believe a certain thing, other than to just go Trumpty Dumpty, bitch McConnell, white people are corrupt. It's just like, what? Like, but I guess you do win when you say that kind of stuff. But it's just hollow, empty. Like, and no one's coming here for the rundown. How are we 18 minutes into this hour-long thing? I'd like you guys to see Poppin, because this could go on forever.
Marijuana. And for expunging records and things like that. So there is looking to be movement this year on a federal bill. Monday, February 8th,
skipping ahead,
where the trial in the Senate of the second impeachment of Donald J. Trump shall begin. Now, listen, guys, I ain't trying to build up nobody's hope. Shit ain't gonna happen. He ain't gonna get impeached. He's not gonna get. I mean, he's been impeached, but he's not gonna get convicted, and therefore we won't get to the stage where he will ultimately be banned from American politics. He could probably have a great career in Russia, but as Secretary of Anal Tampons,
yeah, he's definitely going to be impeached from the standpoint of the general public, but from the Senate, fuck no.
Yeah, the House impeached
from
him.
this wishy-washy, slow look at this motherfucker look like, yeah. I don't understand what. Okay,
where are my turtle snacks?
No.
I am mid turtle change, and he changes. He changes. No, I think it's not. I want to see Biden speak out more. He be a little bit more forceful about it. But I know he's walking a tightrope. It's like, hey, okay, this is the deal. I'm trying my best. A lot of shit to do. He left a fucked up house, and now I got to clean it up. Settle down. That's my Biden. Thank you.
That's it. Perfect. You didn't even have to say who that was. You, brother, you are the realist.
It's just two idiots high-fiving each other over lies.
I make it do what it do. I make it do what it do, baby. I make it do what it do.
Okay, so
you know what to do.
The one thing that is interesting about this are these dudes here. And he's last week Trumpty Dumpty lost like 5 lawyers.
Like they literally can't. Oh fuck! Why did I do that again? They literally can't mention his name it's like autistic level. I gotta say Trumpty Dumpty. Drumpf. Yeah, remember when people did Drumpf?
All at once.
Got him.
But now the team is.
Wait a minute. I thought was it 5? I thought it was 3.
Something like that. The team was like, you know what?
This is. You know what? I found video footage as the team was leaving the building.
Hilarious. Yes, I do remember them in single file. Just fuck
this shit.
All right. Yeah. So it's now up to this guy. Who?
You mean this dude who looks like
David Schoen.
David Schoen looks like he made the serum that made Red Skull.
Look, even their titles they've written. The impeachment trial starts in 6 days as Dumpty struggles for a defense. It's just like, ugh. Also, like, you admit this is going nowhere. We all know it's going nowhere. Trump's not going to jail or getting in any trouble. So you admit you're just wasting taxpayer money and spinning, hours off of the engine lifetime of Congress, not giving money to people. This was day one priority. We're going to give those people the stimulus checks. We will not ban it's just like these guys don't do anything they say they're going to do. People are still waiting for their money. These people are appointing transgenders but we got a transgender. Do we have a check? Dumpty. Come on, man.
He definitely works for Hydra.
He definitely Hell Hydra. He is a creepy looking motherfucker right there.
I'm trying to think of the 80s or 90s sitcom dude that he looks like. He looks like the teacher from Head of the Class. If y'all remember that old sitcom but he got.
Can someone get my man some transition lenses so he don't have to see the Zoom screen reflecting in his glasses? Yeah.
But they left him in a cave where he got locked.
What is it about these wackos that love the faux hawk or mohawk? They love a little tuft of sassy hair. All these nuts. Like, what are you doing, Pedro? Don't you wait tables? Oh my God. Do you think when he brings your bread out, it tastes better because he went to Princeton?
In the school for a month or something, over the summer. And then they were like, oh man, we didn't know you were still in here. You know what I mean? And then he just came out with all that beard and shit. So it's up to him.
You left me in there. What? I couldn't eat. I had to eat my own shit. This is bullshit. So yeah.
And I can
a lot of great character work.
But fellas, you gotta trim that lip part. It's weird.
Oh
man.
yeah.
That's how you end up with beer foam on your face and frosting and eggs and shit. Come on, man.
What are you eating for lunch?
And Trump asshole.
Yeah.
A lot
Get
of
that lip. Yeah. And then it sticks with you. You gotta trim the lip.
Yeah. But
so it's him. It's David Schoen, and then this guy, Bruce Castor Jr.
No, they don't ever mention Trump pardoning Lil Wayne and Kodak Black. They literally think Trump hurt black people so much. They're like, it's going to take years to undo all the things Trump did against black people. It's just like, what are you talking about? He's literally one of the most positive African-American presidents in both policy and in action. Not only just words, but actions. Find me the really racist tweets by Trump again. Find them. Everybody just has weird Mandela effect shit going on in their heads about things Trump has done and said that just aren't true. No, because at one time he did post pictures of those black kids in the basement he was beating. It's like, what? I want to know more about Jewish space lasers, correct?
Bring it in, baby.
Bring it in. Bring that asshole in here, baby.
Speaking of babies, I also got that sense that maybe he had just thrown one in the air and then got distracted, huh? So he's definitely a baby dropper, I would think. Yeah. He has that vibe about him. But these are the two new guys. I mean, fresh in, dog. A
weekend binge and said, "I'm Wolf Blitzer and fuck CNN."
This is Bluff Witzer, and I'm C.
This is so much worse than I thought. This is so bad.
I crapped my pants. And on to the next story. Thank you for that, because he does look like.
Thank you for the subscription. That means a lot.
It's Coyote Blitzer.
Clitotron?
So yeah, man. The trial has to happen because you got to go through the motions, but he's not going to get in. But the entertaining part of this,
it's like the trial's got to happen because you got to go through the motions. It's like, no, you literally don't. It's impossible to impeach someone who's not in office. Actually, by definition. The punishment for impeachment is removal from office. Not. It literally is a waste of taxpayer time and money. Yeah, but you got to go through the motions. All right. Okay.
That situation is watching these monkeys spin around, try to figure out some way to defend the completely indefensible actions throughout this whole thing.
But that's what they've been doing for 4 years. They've been doing that the whole time. And I know once they show this shit, once it's going to just be the weirdest shit. It's going to be basically, it's going to be the Joker. It's going to be the same shit. And here we go. I mean, that's what it's going to be, man. I think that they could give the dumbest defense in the world and he's going to get off. So what difference does it fucking make? But the world needs to see this motherfucker get impeached again.
Well, and you know what? They're not going to see him get convicted of it. But
right.
Melanie B brings up a good point here. She says, what about Letitia James in New York? And we talk about her quite often. But the reality
this hot take is brought to you by Rick's Wings and Rings, 17 locations throughout Nevada and Puerto Rico.
He did get convicted by the Senate and was banned from politics.
Ugh,
he wouldn't go to jail.
So painful.
Right? When you're on the YouTube page,
skipping ahead. Sorry, I'm trying to find.
We need them hearts.
You guys need to see the Poppin segment.
Comment, make a thumbs up, thumbs down.
Here we go.
My dick,
you ready? Here we go. This is the best part. It's so dumb.
I love somebody said I look like.
By the way, their the thing that I love about their format is like their segments are like the rundown, Poppin, and Shangri. Poppin and Shangri are just more news stories. There's no difference between any of the segments. Other than like Poppin, this guy Pedro reads and Shang reads, and then they both just talk about it again and go off on white people. Like that's every fucking Poppin. But wait till you see the little intro for Poppin.
And Aunt Jemima had a baby.
This podcast started 3 years too late to be relevant, right? Like it's so rehashing old shit. It's like imagine being into Rittenhouse.
Dearly beloved.
That's not somebody, dog. You know who that is. I know. That's nobody.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to eat syrup on pancakes. I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a. All right, so
I don't care.
And we're gonna wrap up the show real quick. So I'm gonna make this one. Okay, we're gonna go. Well, I'm gonna make this one a quick one though. And I'm gonna hit y'all with a little something like.
Hey. It's your boy Black Pedro popping in. Hey, with another poppin' to let you know what's poppin'.
With another poppin' to let you know what's poppin'. Now watch this. He really does this every time.
Hey, it's your boy Black Pedro with another.
He watches real Ebonic language. It's your boy Black Pedro with another poppin'. Tell you what's poppin'. Watch.
Poppin' to let you know what's poppin', man. So I caught an article today. And it was going.
It's like, how is this a different segment? It's just another article you guys read. Did you read half of it so that you get it all wrong? Fingers crossed. No, it's all political. It's not even political. It's all race. It's all identity politics, race-based bullshit. And victims. They're really obsessed with being victims and letting black people know that they don't have a chance in this country. It's the most racist thing I've ever seen in my life.
Scams that are going on as a result of COVID vaccinations. And what it is they were encouraging people.
Balding blacks discuss old politics.
People, especially the Better Business Bureau. I'm not quite sure why they were the voice on this, but they were like, when people you've seen it, like when people get their
if you're just joining us, welcome. We're Nobody Likes Onions. We just watch people doing what they do, and sometimes you know what it do. Like, subscribe, and hit the smash button.
They'll show the actual card, and I didn't want to
like, subscribe, and punch the Smash Brothers.
But you have your card, and it'll tell you when you need to come back and what kind of vaccine you got. Pfizer, Moderna.
They have haters on here that are pretty funny, like in their chat room. Shang looks like Prince and Aunt Jemima had a baby. Just so you know, you can't pop into your own show.
Whatever. But it also has your full name and your birthday on it, right? And some people have been posting that and then having their identities stolen, right? And having their identities hacked. So this is just a warning out there, like if and when you guys get your shots, It is a good idea to spread the information, right? They're not saying don't tell anybody that you got the shot, right? Because it does help to promote positivity around it, right? Like I posted a video of my mom and my sister's mother-in-law, and they got their shot.
That's still in the feed, yeah.
So I want you to know that it is actually happening, but the reality is showing that card isn't necessary and could end up getting you in some trouble, and having your shit stolen and your accounts hacked, and then you got to go rob every motherfucker you see on the street.
Everybody.
So be careful out there, but share your stories, man. If you get the shot, tell us about it. Tell us how you're feeling. Tell people it's all good, or maybe I felt a little sick, but the next day I was good, or whatever. Share those experiences, because we need to share about.
Like what is this segment? Today I saw an article about vaccines. There's a lot of scams going on, but if you do get a vaccine, share the news. Could be good, could be bad. So it's like, what is this segment? This is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Showing your vaccine card, right? Like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. This isn't a segment. This is a sad, sad cry for help.
Science and people's experiences, so that those who are skeptical can maybe get some sense that, okay, maybe this is cool, and if so and so did it, then maybe it is all right.
Right.
But it's like when you voted and you get the I voted sticker. Apparently, you get a vaccine sticker. They were like, show that off instead, but don't go flashing your personal information, your full name and your birthday out to the world on the interweb nets. Okay, because and these are desperate times, and people are out here doing desperate things, and they will try and get that information and bank you for whatever you got. So
hey.
So I guess he's saying, I think what he's saying, and I could be wrong because I'm wrong quite a bit in this new world order of ours, but I think what he's saying, and you tell me if I'm wrong, I think what he's saying is when you get the vaccine, they give you like a vaccine proof card, like with your name and birthday on it, and people are like posting that on the internet or social media to like show off, hey, I got the vaccine, I'm vaccinated. And he's like, you don't want to do that where you show off your birthday and your name and your personal info. Like, don't do that. You can get hacked. It's like, thanks, LifeLock. Like, what the fuck is this segment? Common sense with Black Pedro? Hey, you don't want to give out a lot of your personal info on the internet. Things could go awry. Things could go bad. What is this segment? What is this show? Do old black men read old black news? It's a pretty hot take. Not gonna lie, yeah.
I know we do have some anti-vaxxers in the audience. I lovingly have a new moniker for you all. I am gonna recognize you as MDs, but not medical doctors, meme doctors. Oh man, I'm just fucking on one today, bro. That shit was good. Anyways, no, I'm done.
He said MD. Meme doctors, not medical doctors, clapped and goes, God damn, that was a good one. Hold on. Is Poppin not prepared? This is not a fresh joke. He wrote that before the thing. He's like, God damn, that MD meme doc. God damn, I did it. Damn. Woo woo.
All right, y'all. That's my Black Page Poppin for today. Don't put your information on the web just trying to prove that you got the COVID vaccine. We appreciate you.
That's my pop-in for the day. Don't put your information on the web. Information my grandmother could have used in 1998. Don't put your information on the don't click mail attachments either, guys. Well, that's tomorrow's poppin'. Don't give it away. Poppin'.
You're doing it. Be a citizen, but protect yourself as well.
And actually, I did a show with Tehran, and he did a bit about it, about the fact that you don't know what's in Tylenol, but you take that shit every fucking day. And so people are apprehensive, but I understand why some black people are apprehensive pertaining to it because of the Tuskegee experiment, because of the systematic fucking racism that we deal with. And you might think it's another way for them to take
just throwaway lines, throwaway lies. Black people are nervous about taking it just because of the systematic racism we deal with on a daily basis. It's like, go on. No examples of it. Just, you know how it is. What with the systematic racism? I go through McDonald's in the morning, I get half an egg McMuffin. They always eat half of it because they see I'm black. You know. Plus, sometimes my order's not ready. They make me drive around and wait because I'm black. I got stuck in traffic on the way to work because I'm black. My key card didn't work when I tried to get into the office because I'm black. Just like, it must be exhausting looking for ways to connect, like the fucking Beautiful Mind guy in your head, every road back to racism, like doing a maze in reverse. Like, how can I get cold pancakes at Denny's back to racism? Mm-hmm. Yep. Show your work. It's like, no, you don't need to. You just go, the systematic racism we all deal with on an ongoing basis. Like, oh, yeah, cool.
That's the fuck out. But I think this is a little bit different. I think this is
yeah, thanks a lot, systematic racism.
bigger than that. Yeah.
Hey guys, well, if you're worried about conspiracies, just understand it.
Like when people, and you might be one of the people, like it's very easy to like watch the news and get caught up in this, especially if you're a good person, you're just a basic person. But like at some point, kick back. I'm so sick of being told I'm the devil because I'm white. I haven't done shit to you other than say you're awful at this. You know what I mean? Like I'm done. I'm done feeling guilty over nothing. You guys are far more racist than me. Completely. 100%. This is some Paul Mooney level shit. Like, this is bananas. But it's so easy to get just like, yeah, of course, like we're a bad country. We're systematically, you just get hammered with it all day long. I want to see 3 examples. Show me how it's systematic. That means I need to see policies and procedures that outline how black people or any race is to be treated differently than white people. And not from medical reasons or other common sense reasons that we actually may need to. Like, I don't need to. Well, black people never get checked for sickle cell. Like, okay, just like stop it. I don't think it's healthy. Paul Mooney is at least funny, correct? I finally believe Moody's video about racism after watching this. Right.
It's hitting us with the vaccine too, and that white people are getting
like that. Like, look, I'm not saying like that there's not a thin veil that gets thinner as time goes on, of just inherent racism in the world. I actually think it's something to do with our biology. You see something from your animal brain that looks different than you, and on a primal level that this thing is not in your tribe or whatever. And I think we've done a really, really good job at overcoming those instinctual biases. And we really just love to rack ourselves with guilt because we're not perfect. And it's like, that doesn't mean there's systematic racism. I have no doubt that Moody's experienced a lot of racism. But, he also doesn't make videos every day saying that he can't do anything because of the system and he's been held down and he just can't get a leg up and why even try? It's all rigged. Like, it's just not true. You know what I mean? He's doing very well. Building solar roads and stuff. I'm not familiar with his work.
Vaccinated, at a higher rate than we are, even though the disease is actually killing black and brown people faster. So I don't know if that makes you feel better or what, but racism is protecting us from the vaccine if you're afraid of it. So stay black and die. That's all we can do anyways. And
that was the one. That was the one. It's like, imagine that mindset. Stay black and die. That's all we can do anyway. Good night, everybody. Like, what? Stay black and die. That's all we can do anyway. I'd love to buy the rest of your motivational cassettes. Like, fuck, man.
Or you could just choose how you want to. But that's just what is real. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, but
what is real is that your only choice is to stay black and die. Great follow-up. It doesn't sound good, does it? I mean, I'm sure we have some black people in the chat room like, and again, I'm not denying racism isn't real. We're seeing a great display of it. I'm telling you that you get to decide how much, especially in America, this is what I'm talking about, or in any other, first world country. You have no idea what racism is. Systematic racism. So stop. I'm sure Moody, got called a little sandy boy, Arab moon muncher. I don't know what you call Iraqi people, but he's adorable and he's fine. And I would say that it made him stronger. And now nothing's held him back, and he's doing better than most of us. He's healthier than me.
You know what? I want to say that there's a lot of people that I'm still apprehensive. I'm gonna keep it real. I know that I'm still apprehensive. I'm still kind of I fit within the MD.
But what's not funny is they aren't the only people who feel this way. I know. I know. And what's crazy is they don't fundamentally believe anything different than me. Like, of course, black people should be afforded the same rights and opportunities as white people. Like, what are we even talking about? No, duh, that's done. Yeah, but they should have that. It's just like, yeah, I know, but I'm saying, but it's just like, there's never any anything. Nothing moves the needle. There's no where the rubber meets the road on any of this stuff. It's just like, I'm tired of the systematic oppression. It's like, okay, step one, what do we do first? What do we do first to get rid of the systematic oppression? Because I agree, if this exists, we should stomp it out. So where do we start? What's the biggest piece of the system that's fucking over minorities? Anyone?
I fit within the MD because there's
Shang MD.
I do. I really do. I just feel like there's things about it that have made me apprehensive. I've seen a couple people that actually died from it. It was
died from the vaccine.
Died from the vaccine, flat out. But there's going to be a portion of people that might. It's a possibility.
Hey, bro, listen.
I know a couple of people who have died from the vaccine.
But literally,
listen. Later. I love peanut butter, but if I open a jar in this house, it will fucking kill my mother. Severe allergy.
Yeah, peanuts. People in the chat want to call him a liar on that one. Like what? I know a few people who died from the vaccine. Like, okay.
Now, does that mean that motherfucking peanuts are evil, or George Washington Carver is coming up with some scheme to take my mama from me too early? No, it's just some shit ain't for everybody, right? Carrots are good for you unless you're allergic to it. Right?
George Washington Carver was black. Ugh.
Yeah. Cars come with seatbelts and airbags because you could die in a car.
You're right.
Them. You could die with them. There's inherent danger in
so
all
many
aspects of life. But you could stay home and then the earth could quake and drop your house right on top of your motherfucking head, right? You could step outside.
Wait a minute.
Get hit by a bus.
Why are you making it escalate to you can get torn to
Remember, this is all commentary on how you shouldn't put your information on the internet. That's what this is still about.
Part by piranhas. You can oh my god damn, man. You're like,
there's white people outside. I'm telling you, it's just dangerous.
Yeah, you can get stabbed in the face by a
You know what I want to hear again, just to make me feel better? The Poppin song.
Pop it. It's better with a pop it. Yo, it's Pedro. Time for another Poppin, just to let you know what's poppin'.
Hey. It's your boy Black Pedro, popping in.
I gotta skip that. It's so good.
Attacking the Capitol. There's a video that came out said if we storm the Capitol and we get as many people as we can in there, it's our building. We own.
Can we get a Patrick Poppin? Fuck no.
You get no.
You don't have enough money.
Yes, exactly. And the fact she's wearing the mask with censored. You're censored because you're a crazy bitch.
What she needs.
If somebody will make me a Poppin parody song like that with that music or something like that, I would love that. I'll do the vocals for it now, and somebody edit it and send it to me. Hey, how does it go? Hey.
That's why I picked that picture in general. Like,
we'll see how it goes, and then we'll do it.
She really needs to fucking.
Absolutely.
AJ Fitz said he's drinking adrenochrome.
He's allergic to carrots.
That's bitch McConnell. Yeah, that's the baby blood, the adrenaline.
He said bitch McConnell again. Like he's a 4-year-old dude.
Right. The adrenochrome. That's a whole QAnon thing right there. So
people are dissing me, and I love it. I love somebody.
Statistically, airbags increase the number of crashes, but decrease the number of fatalities.
That look like Prince and Aunt Jemima had a baby. Dearly beloved.
That's not somebody, dog. You know who that is. I know. That's nobody.
Yeah. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to eat syrup on pancakes.
All right, here we go. Hey. Poppin.
All right, so something we should give a fuck about, and we'll wrap up the show real quick. So I'm gonna make this one. We're gonna go. Well, I'm gonna make this one a quick one though. And I'm gonna hit y'all with a little something like.
Hey. It's your boy Black Pedro popping in. Hey. With another poppin' to let you know what's poppin'.
So it's hey. It's your boy Black Pedro popping in. Hey. Do another popping in, let you know what's popping. All right, so ready? You can only do the intro song if you describe yourself as White Patrick. So it'll be hey. All right. Hey. It's your boy White Patrick popping in. Hey. White boys doing popping in to let you know what popping. All right, you edit that together for me, and I'll do a pop in. We'll get it popping. Do you guys want to see a Shangri real quick?
In the video, you can see how hard it is to get people inside of cars. So imagine if that was
Shangri.
Because I think, I might end up getting killed. Like, sir, you made a move. You blinked your eyes. I pow. So I mean, I just think this little girl. I hope
blinking while black.
Yes, well, which is, by the way, a new thing.
Oh, that's against the law, bro. I don't know what you were thinking. Blinking. Right. Nicole H brings up a good point. A 9-year-old, teachers deal with students every day, but no one gets pepper sprayed. And, one of the most gut-wrenching parts is...
This is another one of those. And look, I'm not saying I'm coming down on any side on this, but just out of curiosity, if you do believe like there's some crazy problem in this country where cops are shooting black people, the statistics don't bear that out. The numbers don't bear that out in any way. Like it's a statistical untruth that is happening. But if you do think that there is a problem, I'm telling you guys, you'll enjoy it. Look up this guy on YouTube, Donut Operator. He's great. And he used to be a cop, so he can explain things from a cop's mindset. And also, like, he only does like breakdowns of the actual footage. And you can take a story that you've seen or read about and like actually watch body cam footage of it, multiple angles edited together. And he'll do walkthroughs on this stuff. And it's pretty good. Like, you'll come away with an understanding that, like, writing down what happened, like, it's very easy to write down the results. An unarmed child was shot. It's like, okay, what happened? Like, it helps you a lot. It will help you a lot to see these videos and stop just, I heard another black guy got shot today unarmed. It's just like, what? Well, what happened? Oh, he was on drugs and he did charge at police officers with it. Why didn't they do a taser? There's plenty of videos of cops tasing people who still stab or shoot them. Some of these motherfuckers, like, some people drop. Remember that guy's dick we tased on the show? Just dropped. Some people, man, like fucking, I don't know if it's thick skin or just a baseline electrical charge doesn't do shit to them. Unaffected. 9-year-old pepper spray is fun. What?
She's pepper sprayed.
Does it get more? 9-year-old pepper spray is fun.
While being handcuffed as a 9-year-old girl, by the way.
And I'm not saying that any of these cases aren't legit. Like, there's plenty of cases of actual fucking abuse. He breaks those down, too. Like, he watches videos, and if the cop does something wrong, he goes, that was fucked up. Like, that shouldn't have been done like that. Like, so It's a good one. It's a fun channel to watch. Donut Operator. He's got a good sense of humor. Seems like a nice, decent guy. You're gonna love the way you cop. I guarantee it.
But not that a 9-year-old boy should get this, but I mean, this is a little girl as well, right? Like needs a little bit extra protection.
Wow. Don't gender your rules about pepper spray to me, bro. That is fucked.
Even the society. She's like, can you wipe my eyes? Can you wipe my eyes? So can you imagine like being pepper sprayed while handcuffed and then not being able to, alleviate the pain at all and the discomfort?
This is another thing these guys do. Like there's no new facts or new information or any information or facts for that matter other than this little girl got pepper sprayed. And then they walk you through this like long, by the way, made up and hypothetical, journey that this little girl had to go through. Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine being not? Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Think about it. You're a little girl. You're sitting in the back of a police car. All you were doing was reading a book and selling candy bars so your church group could go to church. Can you imagine being a little girl with pepper spray in your eyes? And they won't wipe it out of your eyes, and you're handcuffed, and you can't wipe it out. Can you imagine? It's like none of this has anything to do with anything. A girl got pepper sprayed. She's fine now. Don't fill us in with what happened or why it happened or show a video of it. They're not interested in any of that. And by the way, I'm not saying it was justified because I know nothing about the story, but neither do they. And that's my fucking point. You have to stop this shit, everybody. These emotional reactions. Fuck your feelings. Facts don't lie.
Like, especially at that age, man. Because, I mean, you see people grown people in the streets get pepper sprayed and crying and they need milk right away.
And this is a thing like the left does with everything from Greta Thunberg to like kids getting shot at school. It's like, oh, so you're for kids getting shot at school? Well, then let us take all the guns away. Oh, so you're for all the ice caps melting. All right, well, then we need to shut down all of the world's factories, like Greta said. It's like, it's a weird, like, using children to get what you want, tugging at, like, emotional heartstrings of people. Like, just like, oh, can we get some empathy for the children? Like, clearly cops need to be killed or dismantled because this girl got pepper sprayed. You don't need to know why or how that came to happen. No details. No video. Don't worry about it. Isn't it sad? Look at that girl. She's crying. She got pepper spray in her eyes. She was wielding knives and guns and selling crack on the side of the road. She was also 6'2" and had D cups. So she was overdeveloped. Oh, then changes things. None of that's true. But I don't know if it's not. I can't prove it either way.
They're coughing and they can barely stand up. It's bad. And so I think that these police should be not only fired. Listen
to this shit. But they know nothing about the case other than what's popping and that they're shangry.
Should get criminal charges, but it never fucking happens.
They've all been suspended. But that's not. The investigations and all that.
You guys don't want investigations. They want punishments doled out. They want street justice. These guys who all want justice for Breonna and justice, they don't want justice for anyone else. Decide. I don't know what we're waiting on, man. The results to come in, the facts, fire them. They should be killed. What? Don't you want to wait and find out what happens? We'll review the tape. Nah, man. A little girl had pepper spray in her eyes. Are you crazy? They're nuts.
But one silver lining though is that
they think investigations are a trick of the man.
Sure. And ultimately, the top cop in that state is a badass sister named Letitia James, dog. So she ain't no way this gonna ride, my nigga. So she's all over this too. Yeah. In addition to being in Trump's ass, she's gonna be in the Rochester Police Department's ass. She got a lot of asses to be in.
She got a lot of. Why? The thing is, you did like this, like so that's up the ass and then around
with a twist.
In addition to being in Trump's ass, this was filmed yesterday. This police officer's not in Trump's ass. What are you talking about?
Let them feel that discomfort.
It just made me just the double standard. And also, I just had watched
The double standard. They've presented no evidence of a white girl that didn't get pepper sprayed in the same exact situation by the same police officers. It's just like they throw out like win words. You know what I mean? Like, exactly, double standard, point made, case adjourned.
a movie called American Skin that's on demand about police brutality, and it just fucked my head up. It fucked my head up because I thought about my son who.
I mean, how could it fuck your head up? You already think they're the worst. Like, what did you learn in that documentary that made it even more grave?
Having some problems. My youngest.
By the way, whenever I'm with any of these people and police are nearby, I never see any of them nervous. Like, so it's all horseshit.
And having some drastic problems I had to deal with.
Except for, like, I have seen some black people be like, I'm nervous, but I feel like it's a bit.
Drastic shit with him. And I just thought if they did that to him, my life's over because I'm going on a cop killing spree. I just, I know I shouldn't say that on open air, but I just feel like you kill my son or you shoot my son or you do shit like that. I can see why a father or I can see why a loved one would think I'm going to kill police now. I can see it. And I never thought that before. I thought, well, they should be chastised. They'd be this.
So this video brought him around to the idea of retaliating against cops by killing them. I can see it now. Yeah, I do. I definitely see cop killing now. Like, I get it. Like, what? Like, the moral compass of these guys is like spinning all the fucking way around. You kill my son, I'll be upset. It's like, wow. Did you go out on that branch on your own? Is it lonely out there? They say nothing. There's so much talking and saying nothing. Hypothetical infanticide. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Now get upset about it and change the law. Aren't you mad about that imaginary baby? He just talked about his son being killed. Maybe one day, possibly, hypothetically. Now shouldn't we change the law because his son just got killed in that little spurious fantasy?
But now my mind is like, yo, man, if that's your baby, that's your little girl, and somebody did that, come on.
Like, if somebody killed my son, but if like, for people who are real, open to no genders, they really do draw a line on genders.
Just frustrating.
Yeah, man, this was a hard one to look at.
I think their woke alignment is off. This is the second time they've like made references to like, well, a son, okay, but a daughter, fuck no. It's like, you guys are all over the place for how like crime and punishment works. Do any crime, you should be punished for it. The same as everybody else. Yeah, but if it's my daughter, it's just like, no. Yeah, but if it was a white baby, it's like, no. Yeah, but if, like, no. Oh.
But we definitely want to follow that story because,
we definitely want to talk about that.
They should not, none of those officers, and for this 9-year-old girl, they had an insane.
Not even finished sentences, just 9-year-old girl.
I don't know who
tears,
the motherfucker is that calls
handcuffed.
back up on the 9-year-old. You are the punk pussiest motherfucking police officer I've ever.
Bitch ass cop, you hold up.
By the way, I tagged Black Pedro in a post today, and he blocked me immediately. Who's a punk ass pussy? All these guys, like, they won't even have conversations. It's like, they don't want to have a real conversation with a real motherfucker who will call them out on all their shit. Like, Ty got a little flustered and then went home and did a sad 2-hour review. Like George Costanza coming up with that line about the jerk store 2 days later. Like, that doesn't do any good now. Yeah, but I'm going to tape me saying it. And then
You bitch ass cop, you bitch ass cop.
I don't know, man. I need backup, man. She's slippery. I don't know if it's the cocoa butter or what, but God damn it, I can't get it.
These black women, and these black women, no, black girl.
Child, you're acting, and you're right. The one.
Yo, man, that was my son. Not cool.
Nigga, she's in fourth grade at 9.
4th grade at best.
Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, what do you mean? She's a child. She's
pretty
child.
bad. And
now they're going on about what grade his daughter's in. Yeah, dude, that's horrible. What is she in 4th grade? Yeah, that's fucking awful. It's like, it didn't happen. None of this happened. What is everyone talking about? We're 6 minutes down a road about how awful it is that nothing happened. Like, what are we doing?
By the way, it's hard to watch the video. I watched the video. I watched the whole video.
Can you imagine being handcuffed? Oh, right.
They're going, and I've seen a lot of
this podcast could be 6 minutes if you cut out all the duplicate talk.
Shit. I seen some horrible shit. I saw like shit that you go, what?
Did you just kill my son? What the heck, man? Yeah.
In real life, I saw about 30 motherfuckers stomp a nigga out and his eye pop out.
Yeah. One time I saw a guy get his like, what is happening?
Yeah. And I thought, well, I can't see no more shit that will move me. This moved me. It moved me, and I think it was a combination of the movie, that, and then I watched that documentary. And I really, the fact that they treated us like animals and had him gagged and bound like a fucking animal.
Bobby Seale in open court.
It just,
yeah, bro, we got to learn. No matter,
we got a lot of work to do.
Biden can't sign enough stacks of executive orders to quite get us out of this. This is going to take a few other things. AJ Fitz on board with you, Shank, so don't feel alone. I've seen a lot of other black parents express the same sentiment that.
I love this guy in their chat room. It's trolling them. He just goes, Mexican children were separated at the border from their parents by ICE. He's just saying things to get them to try to go down the same fucking things they keep going down because they're so repetitive and dumb.
If we're their child, if this ever happens to their child, they are going to air this bitch out.
And somebody's got a good point. I watched the movie Alien once. It was terrifying.
Pedro's the one that took me shooting, which made me, he took me to the only black owned. Let me make sure, and I want him back on the show.
This is their brand. Yes. This is one of their shirts. Black
Jesus Christ, that's enough of it. We gotta wrap it. I'll do a little bit of an after. We're gonna take a bit of a break. I gotta piss. I gotta get a drink. Walk it off a bit. Thank you so much for hanging with us. A couple of things. I do my plugs here at the end, and I also am very coordinated mentally, so I won't be repeating things over and over again. Do me a favor. Follow us on Twitter, NLO. Follow us on Instagram, NL Onions. We have a Facebook page. Search for Nobody Likes Onions. No weird things to type. It'll come right up. Nobody Likes Onions on Facebook. There's two things. There's a page and a group. Like the page. Do that, okay? That's the public face we put out to the world, kind of like just letting people know we're here. Here's some shows. This is what it is. There's a group. Join the group, okay? And that's where all the secret behind the wall private stuff goes on. If you're a fan of the show, if you like the show, if you want to contribute to the show, and be one of my friends. Then go on the group, okay? Join the Overdose. $10 a month, $100 a year, limited time only. This price is going up very soon. You're not going to want to miss it. NobodyLikesOnions.com/overdose. Thank you for subscribing on Twitch. Get rid of your ads if you watch this and want to subscribe on Twitch. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the subs. Thanks for the shares. Do what you want to do, okay? I'm not your boss. I'm not going to ask you over and over and over again about it, okay? We got a lot of stuff for you coming out on the Overdose, including the after show for this show. Stick around. We'll do it to it. You're going to love the way you feel and live. We'll talk to you soon. Let's get you out of here on a good feeling. Okay, we'll do a high on cigarettes that won't get us flagged. Thanks everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Couple of this always happens to me. We'll be back in a few. Okay, thanks.
Your manner is most unbecoming of a gentleman. Would you be high on cigarettes?
I don't know if the comedy hasn't hit them yet. They're full-blown retarded or just high on cigarettes.
A question posed to stupid hoes who don't get it yet. Excuse me, miss. Are you high on cigarettes? I don't know if the comedy hasn't hit them yet. They're full-blown retarded or just high on cigarettes. All the laughter that you deploy if you listen to the show, boy. Patrick melting faces. Have you stacking NLO point? It's the low point, not the reason. The reason is fucking gold. Gonna make the taco pony party be a party of soul. To make you vandalize a van with a pedal sticker so bold the family probably to get arrested before they get down the road. Or stupid motherfuckers just got NL loaned. Other radio shows are straight bitch mail prone. Talk shit on the youngins that nobody like past. Have my homeboy lame prank call him fast. Have him thinking that he hates him like right before he berates him. And the way that he baits him, I put him right on blast. Like Patrick is an asshole and his show won't last. And every time I called in, he treated me